Snap.
Make it so.
Too many crossovers.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of 4 nerds across the galaxy. And their very loud sound system. And their non-copyright infringing music.
When do we make our own soundtrack? based off the Cable Guy?
I feel like there should be a view screen right now with like some sort of star system in the distance. And everyone's just kind of looking at it for no apparent reason.
This is the demo game. We'll catch up to that.
Okay.
All right. Hello, Internet. Welcome. This is Dork Tales. I am your Dungeon Master, Game Master. I think I'm just the Game Master on this. So, Game Master, Kelly. And we are building for Star Trek Adventures tonight. So let's go to my left with introductions, because you have your phone out.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I need to answer. I'm sorry, I'm advertising on Instagram of this.
That's
starting,
fine.
Okay?
Who still needs a badge?
I don't know.
Is this yours?
I've got one right here.
Is this...
I'm pretty sure mine's in my car.
Did I order an extra one?
I think you
I
did.
think
You said you had an extra one, I think.
This is a great start, guys.
All right. We're already extra.
We don't know our names.
I'm Krista. I don't know what I'm going to be playing yet. That's what today is for, so I'm excited to find out.
I'm Michael. I'm a long time Trek nerd. Live long and prosper. Actually, that's on my grad high yearbook.
I need a photo of that to put in.
Yeah, okay, I'll find it for you. I'm kind of ashamed, but it's kind of awesome.
You should never be ashamed by
Never.
that.
No, I shouldn't.
I think that might be on my.
Are you guys kidding me?
Really?
Are you kidding me?
I think it might.
Are you-
I think it might.
Are you guys married?
Because we were separated at birth. It was a long, difficult birth.
One of you needs a mustache to be the evil other half.
This is the mirror universe.
Yeah.
So I like that we have Michael, and we also have...
Mike. I am Mike.
Yeah, you know Mike from generic fantasy setting, and you know Krista from
Starfinder.
Starfinder.
You also know Mike from Starfinder.
and from Monster of the Week.
Last week? Or 2
and
days ago?
then whatever is coming next, which I will let everybody know within the next week so we can start building off camera. And then finally...
I'm Way, or David. I've been
No
a
way.
huge... I haven't did that one before.
Yeah.
I've been a huge Star Trek fan since I came and immigrated to Canada. It has helped me learn English. I owe everything to Patrick Stewart.
We all owe everything
Yeah,
to
let's
Patrick
say.
Stewart.
No, I guess I should say that I am not a Star Trek fan. Not that I dislike Star Trek.
Star Trek is all about inclusion, man.
So this is kind of my first foray into Star Trek. I've been watching Deep Space Nine. I did start last year watching the original series, so I watched the first 2 seasons of the original series, which I do love. But
Did you watch the animated one?
I haven't watched the animated. I have seen all the Sorry, how did Christopher put it? All the good original cast movies. I've seen all of the Mirror Universe episodes.
Okay.
And I'm all caught up on Discovery, which I'm really enjoying, so.
And have you seen First Contact, which is the best Star Trek movie?
No. So that's what we're doing next.
Generations.
We're going to watch
Generations
I've seen
is the movie
Generations.
that comes before First Contact. You are right.
Yeah. On the note of being Star Trek people, I have been watching Star Trek since I was about 4. My mother introduced me to the original series very, very young, and it just stuck. I am 27 now, so that is a very long time of watching Star Trek over and over and over again. Yeah, I like it very much too.
That's fair. All right, so tonight what we're doing is we are building the crew of the USS Curiosity, which is a Luna-class ship. I believe we're setting the game in 2373.
It was 73 or 79.
Do you guys want 73 or 79? I think 73 is early enough that we don't have to worry. Because, there's going to be some significant NPC inclusion, potentially. Because if you don't have Commander Riker show up at least once, I have failed this game.
I want you to live action roleplay him taking a seat.
I can't. I'll kick everything off the table. You know what? I'll have the dog be Riker, and he'll knock everything off. Just, Commander, I think that we have a problem with the dilithium crystals. Beard.
So for the other games, you're a dungeon master, something game master. Starfinder, you were a Star Lord.
Yeah.
Wouldn't for this one you be the ambassador?
Would I be the ambassador? What the hell would I be?
The Q Collective.
The Q.
You'd be the Q Collective.
Or Continuum.
I'm the QT pie.
Yeah, you would be the Q Continuum.
No, that was my suggestion for your costume.
It's too elaborate. So don't talk about that yet. It's a surprise for game one. So you definitely want to tune in.
We have a question. No, the next generation. This is post next generation.
This is slightly post next generation. So the Star Trek Adventures is supposed to be set in 2371, which is. Actually, wait, is it 2371? No, 2371 is when the original ends. This game is supposed to be concurrent with the episode of Next Gen Season 3 where Data has a daughter.
Okay.
Lol.
Yeah, lol. So this is supposed to be concurrent with that. We're taking it a little further because we had a debate when we were talking about this game, and we were thinking that, yes, we could totally just run it mirrored with Next Generation, but that would end up sinking us into the Dominion War, and I want to see what we do past that. So the idea for the game is that we're getting back into Starfleet's original mission of ambassadorship and science and exploration as a post-militaristic gearing down phase. So basically demilitarizing the universe again. And then, of course, I'll remilitarize it in ways that you don't want. Because I've got some great ideas for episode names, too. They're so dumb. So right now, there's going to be the 4 of us. 5 of us, if I am a human. And we're going to have the occasional rotating 5th person who's going to be playing the crewman of the week, basically. Like, I just watched a bunch of Next Gen. Like, I've watched 4 seasons of Next Gen in the last 3 weeks to prep for this.
That's the way to do it.
I just rewatched the one with that crewman who's obsessed with the holodeck.
Barclay.
Yeah.
I just watched the Barclay episode where
I love Barclay so much. As it goes on and on and on, he is...
Does he get better? Because he looked familiar. I watched it all when I was a
He
child.
gets better
He gets
in
better.
Voyager, especially.
Yeah.
Oh, is he in Voyager?
Yeah.
He plays quite a big role in Voyager.
Because I watched the first 2 episodes of Voyager and was like, I really didn't like this when I was a kid.
Later.
And like watching it again as an adult, I'm like, you know what? I didn't give this as much of a... I don't know if it was because I was like a 10 or 12-year-old boy.
It was the
when it
same
came out.
for me with Voyager.
And I was like,
I
ew,
had
a
to
girl.
rewatch it as an adult
It's not really my style.
to really enjoy it.
It's smarter than I think, and Janeway's badass.
Janeway is so cool.
Janeway actually reminds me a lot of a boss I had not that long ago, where I was just like, whoa, you are kicking ass. Oh, actually, the default setting is 2371, but it gives you lots of rules and stats. So, for those of you who don't know, Star Trek Adventures is a game from Modiphius Entertainment. They're a British publisher, and they do really cool shit. This is a 2d20 game, so it's you roll 2 or more d20s, and you're trying for low on them. And I critted and botched at the same time on that roll, so that's great. It's a good start. Yeah, it's a really cool game. Check it out. So, I guess we might as well just go through and start talking about what we want. I think 2373 gives us a couple of years advancement. I'm pushing back the creation of the Luna-class ships, so that you are on either an advanced model of the Luna or just like a different tier, a different build, or you're a prototype. Which is why the typical Luna naming convention has not been withheld. Because they usually name the Luna class after moons. Luna class is pretty good. It's about the size of the original series, Enterprise, I think. And then, so what we're going to do now, we're going to build characters, we're going to kind of brainstorm the themes and attitudes. And is there a spare sheet of paper for me? Yeah. Cool. Nice. Oh, I don't want to break out my notebook yet, and I'm really sore because I hit the gym like super hard today because it was my day off. And I'm really sore and I can't, oh no. It's starting to happen where I can't extend my arms completely.
Yeah, don't fall asleep like
Just
this.
massage it.
I did that and I was stuck like this. I was a T-Rex for a day.
Massage my guns.
What time did you go to the gym this morning?
This morning. That's cute.
Oh, because you were
Day
saying
off.
that you went this morning.
I was around 11:30.
Oh.
So we went before lunch, then we went and had some sushi, and it was good. But yeah, did you go this morning?
I did not.
Oh.
I
I woke up at 5 a.m. though. I fell asleep on the couch after watching Endgame and crying a lot and eating. Endgame. We're not gonna. No spoilers for. We watched Endgame last night, and it was enough of a roller coaster that I'm like, you know what? I'm not eating well for another day or two, so I went out and bought a pizza and 2 pints of Ben and Jerry's. and after a pizza and a pint, I just was like,
Yeah.
Did you get the Hulka Hulka chocolate?
okay, one spoiler. At one point, someone is eating Hulka Hulka burnin' fudge. Okay, you gotta look for it. But they actually made it.
Damn it, you're ruining this!
I ruined the movie.
the entire point of me wanting to go
watching
see the
anymore?
movie.
I mean, go see Endgame. I was really tempted just to run Avengers instead. Shoddy. Oh, I can't say any in-jokes. Damn! My powers. Okay, so do we want to just jump straight into character creation?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, who wants to go first? So we can all do this kind of together, but we'll do the life paths.
Do we need these things?
You will. So please grab a character sheet and hand them around in a circle, clockwise or counterclockwise. Surprise me.
You got a couple already? Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and I will grab these, which are printouts of the same thing.
Under your coffee mug.
It's under my coffee mug.
Do we need more than one copy of the character sheet?
No.
No? Okay.
No. So, and what we're going to do is we're going to build your main characters, and then we're going to build some side characters afterwards. Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Oh yeah, it does that.
Yeah, so just don't pull it off the table. That's I did switch to a shorter one. Okay, so we start around page 130. All right, so
I know, I just found some random background.
that's pretty cool.
That's a sovereign class. That's what that is.
You guys are nerds. Michael, at the end of this, you have to show how many books you brought tonight. Okay, so playstyle. There are many great stories that can be told within the Star Trek universe, and not all of them revolve around the senior staff of a starship. When starting a game of Star Trek Adventures, it's a good idea to convene the group and figure out the style of game that everyone wants to play. It does no one any good if the game master, Q Continuum, the QT, has one type of game in mind and the players have another. Some groups might be fine with the default presumption of these rules, that the player's main characters are the senior staff, mirroring the format of the TV shows. But others may wish for a different approach. Specialized problem-solving teams within a ship's crew or crews of lower-ranking officers may be more comfortable with some groups, in which case ignore all the rules. So I'm thinking that the default senior staff model is fun.
I agree.
Yeah, I think so.
Do we want to have one of you be the captain, or do we want a floating captain that goes between people and I can play if need be?
I think that sounds like a good idea.
I think having the captain be like an NPC, I think makes it easier because then we can all go on missions together and it's not like one person like, oh, I have to stay back and be the envoy to this person.
The
right?
captain should be on the ship anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, Picard got off the ship way too much.
Way too
and then he kept making jokes about, like, I can see why you want to go on away missions, number one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, So we can build... I always like my universes to be very human-centric and at the core. Like, I think that there should be more humans than anything else because we're the baseline. Okay, sorry, I thought it was something about the stream. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't enjoy being whatever you want to be. So today we're going to be building out of the beta quadrant and out of the core for species. I don't have the gamma quadrant book. I don't even know if it's been released in hardcover yet. So
we just have alpha and beta?
We're doing that. And then, of course, if any one of the characters that we build has a life path that seems like it would be suitable for a captain, we can always have that character be the captain. The other main thing is that you have your main characters, and when we're building the NPCs are shared characters. So, for example, I'm playing a Vulcan named Tonlak, right? Okay, so Tonlak, I don't know, it's just fine. His name's Croc. All right,
Spork.
Spork. Okay, so Spork the Vulcan. We give him a couple of traits, which are really basic things that are like genius. So like a couple of good ones, a couple of bad ones, I think is how it works. Like genius, brilliant, colorist, slightly racist, and
we gotta have the xenophobe.
afraid of holograms.
Afraid of holograms.
Afraid of holograms. And so like I would play him the first time, and that is very logical. Let's be logical. And then the next time, like, it goes down the table, and then Mike, you might play him the next time, and then you're like, that is logical. And, like, if we can do accents as a group, It's always good to have a deep-voiced accent. Perhaps this would be not as easy for some to do.
Oh, arguable.
Oh, damn. Oh, yeah. Krista, you know what you just did? You just made it so.
Yeah.
All right.
Why, yes. Yes, you did.
That's good. Oh, that's pretty good. Try to speak with your titties.
I always speak with at least one.
Your party tit?
My party tit.
Good.
It's my left one.
Good job, Cleric of Basir. Basir.
Oh, Basir.
Basir is the best cut. Yes. God, I love her. Okay, so let's take a look at your sheet just so that you have a sense of things. So your attributes are the base things of your being, okay? So control is about your character controlling yourselves. Covers precision, accuracy, careful timing. Self-discipline and control go hand in hand, and you would use this when performing delicate work, when doing tasks that involve precise timing, like Dance Dance Revolution, or giving detailed instructions like how to make poached eggs. I guess, I don't know, it's more complicated than you'd think. And also to resist mental assault, duress, or stressful conditions. Daring is the Kirk stat. It's when responding to emergencies, acting aggressively, basing things on your gut. It's when you have to go now.
Literally the Kirk stat.
Yep. Fitness is about enduring hardship and employing force. You use fitness when you're attempting to employ raw physical force, like when you're trying to beat up Worf in your first episode to show that you're a badass, or performing strenuous and physical tiring things, like always throwing your leg up over chairs. Insight is about understanding people and their feelings. It's the Diana Troy stat. Deanna Troy?
Deanna Troy.
Deanna Troy. I know a Diana in real life. It threw me off. I know a lot of Deannas, too. It covers self-awareness, being conscious of a creature's current state of mind, hard-earned wisdom, relies on a person's emotional intelligence, empathy, and experience. You use it to understand feelings and to figure stuff out. Presence is the power of your personality. It's your charisma stat, period. Like, it covers all of that stuff. Also is your resistance stat as well, because if you're super charismatic in this system, maybe you're not quite as easily overran by other people's charisma. And then your reason is about logic and meticulous analysis. It's your Vulcan stat. You study things. It's your data stat too. Okay? Everybody has these. And then for the most part, most of the roles that I'm going to make you do, you can choose to change some of the attributes that are used. For example, if you are in a fist fight, so Michael, you and Mike are in a fist fight, and so Michael, you're playing Captain Kirk, so you're obviously going to use daring plus...
So I should do like judo chops?
Yeah, whereas Mike is...
I'll take the Vulcan stat.
Yeah, that's the Vulcan stat, so you're going to be using like reason or...
You're Robert Downey Jones.
Robert Downey Jones.
Robert Downey Jones!
See, I was trying to say Sherlock Holmes at the same time.
Robert Downey Sherlock.
I'm writing that down as an NPC name.
Robert Downey Jones?
Robert Downey.
RDJ?
Yes, exactly. Robert
I'll
Downey
just play him like
Jr.'s Sherlock Holmes and how he fights, where he just like, okay, I see exactly what you're going to do. Okay, there.
Yeah, exactly. And then there are disciplines. So in addition to the attributes, your disciplines are your skills, basically. Skills are rated from 1 to 5. Disciplines are rated from 1 to 5, whereas your attributes are rated from 7 to 12. 8 is average. 7 is like, Quark, you should probably buy up your presents. Frang, you have a penalty to that, I'm pretty sure.
I would imagine
you'd think, right? They do this. So 0, untrained, unskilled, lacking in innate aptitude. Basic training, professional competence, experienced and well-trained, excellence in the field, exceptional, often a combination of intense training, hard-won experience, and natural aptitude. Right? So pretty basic. So you could also look at it as like high school education, bachelor's or trade certification, and then so on and so forth, right? Like all the way up to 5 where you're world renowned for being like the best Earl Grey tea maker in the galaxy.
So a
Is that the
replicator.
computer?
So Data
Let's say the computer?
is a robot.
Well, I know he is,
I know.
but he always asks the computer for tea.
It's true. So Command covers a wide range of interpersonal interactions, especially leadership negotiation. Both do you know the Pellerman?
No, I'm good. Oh yeah, actually, a pillow would be good.
Yeah, like
There are many pillows to choose from.
Many pillows.
seriously. Here,
Take your
have one
pick.
with all the skulls on it.
Thank you.
Do you want Captain Octo James?
I'm kidding.
Okay.
Octo James.
Octo James.
Octo James, everybody comes for Octo James.
Whoa!
It's okay, James is not this. We can talk like that.
How often do I have to watch this?
In a non-sexual way.
Oh, thank you. Mike, are you super red?
I might be super red. I'm gonna turn...
Turn the light so you're not super red, bro. Okay.
A little sunburned.
Yeah, so...
I'm a lobster.
It's not as bad on the actual stream.
Oh,
It's
okay,
just
cool.
the angle of the
Is
screen.
he cut off on this? Oh, he stepped out of
Yeah,
frame
he's
and
in the
there's a
frame.
lag. Okay.
Yeah, that was
Okay,
good.
so command covers interpersonal interactions, especially leadership, negotiation, and coordinating and motivating others. Con is piloting. All sorts of things.
Yay!
Engineering is inventing. It's engineering. It's pretty basic. Security covers everything using force. Combat, analyzing threatening situations. It's the Wharf stat. Science, medicine. Okay? And then what you're also going to have are focuses come into play, which are things like, yes, of course, I have a focus in anthropology. Or I have a focus in shipboard tactical systems. And then there are talents as well, and these are things that I have printouts to hand you. You'll look through them, and they're basically like feats in Dungeons & Dragons or merits in World of Darkness, things like that. Okay, so life path creation. So we're going to start this off here. So choose your character species. The options presented in this rulebook are Andorian, Bajoran, Betazoid, Denobulan, which is one I've never come across in the show yet, Human, Tellarite, Trill, and Vulcan. And I also have in the super expensive book that has a hockey portion in it because the Andorans and Klingons play hockey against each other.
That makes sense.
Amazing.
It's better than whatever sport that they have. It was like basically like American Gladiators, but they're fully padded. If anyone remembers
so
on the Next Generation.
Yeah, I do.
So there's Benzites as well as Bolians, Ephorosians, which look like Planet of the Apes monkeys, Klingons, and that's all they give us in this book. I think the Klingons are the only really good ones, though. And you can always be a half-breed if you want to be someone of mixed species. In that case, you basically just pick your primary species, and you're like, yes, I have all the Vulcan stats, but
It's
I
color.
it's flavor, right? So what do people want to be? Like, throw out some basic concepts for what you were thinking of playing.
Well, I've been thinking about playing maybe a data slash. Names right now.
Do you want me to hold up a picture?
Spork, yes. Spork.
You were thinking of like sexy data, right?
I was thinking of a half Vulcan who is very committed to his career, but as his hobby project, he studies philosophy and is currently focused on hedonism. So he's
stupid, sexy Spock. So you're going from spork to fork.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm writing that one down.
Please, write down quotes. Going from spork to spork.
Spork to fork.
Fork to fork.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a good character concept, and we'll see how your life path has brought you to this way. And we're gonna do randomized life path generation. But if you roll something that you hate, we can always back off it and roll again, or try something different.
I was thinking a Trill.
Okay. Which life?
The thug life.
Well, because I played a Trill in a game of this who started off as female Commander Shepard and like had this long and illustrious career and then got trilled into her new body, which is basically chubby Matt Damon. And so she was basically, well, he was in pretty good shape, but he was that super handsome, like, blonde white boy, and she'd go around being like, "Oh, dearie, you've got something on your..." Because she was a grandmother when she got slashed.
Oh, yes.
And she was having trouble dealing, and she was great. Badass grandma in Matt Damon's body.
Fair enough. I was thinking of... You've seen Voyager now?
I've seen some Voyager.
You've seen some Voyager
Which
now.
one are we talking about? Was one of them a Trill?
No, they weren't Trill. But think Tom Paris without the prison.
All right.
That
character concept doesn't work anymore then.
Yeah, I think Tom Paris without the prison.
Post-marriage, Tom Paris.
Oh, well, I've seen 2 episodes, bro.
Fair enough.
Okay, so I did wiki it, though, because I was like, how does this shit end?
Basically, always went through as the crazy pilot that nobody wanted to fly with because they were afraid they'd always die.
Sure that you're up for playing a crazy pilot?
I think I might be up for playing a crazy pilot. I mean, for everyone who's followed this and has seen me in other games, most people will now know I have an affinity to be a pilot in games. And it stems from the fact that I'm a pilot in real life.
He says affinity, but it's more like an addiction.
Yeah. He's got a need for...
Fake speed.
No.
Fantasy speed.
A like for flights. Warp speed.
A like for flights.
There you go.
He's deaf for meth.
What?
He had a need for speed.
I like that.
He's down for puppers and uppers.
Puppers and uppers.
Who isn't?
Puppers and uppers.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my general thing is just like this this young Trill who ended up in control of a starship because while they were always kind of reckless with flying, they always did very well on all of their exams and tests because they were actually very skilled. So.
Okay. So, pilot. Film. Michael.
Totally gonna play a human because, well,
They're the best.
human.
Human.
Yeah.
What do you mean you wired the toaster to the warp core? Yeah, now we can have
Yeah,
toast.
yeah.
At warp 10.
You have so much toast. No, I'm thinking playing a former Marine from the Dominion War that basically does really great in combat situations, who is completely washed out, and there's no war. What is he going to do? And then gets put on a science vessel, and Starfleet's like, well, now you have to prove that you're better at other things than killing people.
I can give you a motivational speech in the first episode.
Oh, good.
We can make sure you're better than the sun.
Kind of like strapping two warp cores together so you can blow up the sun 2 times as fast.
Yes.
Exactly.
To create a wormhole. All right, and Krista. Yeah.
I don't know, to be perfectly honest, because I was sort of just wanting to see sort of what needed to be filled, like what other people were playing, and again, because I'm not terribly familiar with the.
We need a cleric.
Perfect. I actually love playing clerics. But yes,
we do need science and medical.
I was thinking that I don't have the technobabble to be a good
I printed
science
some
officer.
out.
There is a whole thing of technobabble.
If we
Okay,
do science,
cool.
I got a book for you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I'm happy sort of doing well. I guess because medicine might go well. Maybe I'll be a science officer that has medicine.
Yeah.
But
You could end up as chief medical officer if you play your cards right.
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What,
Yeah,
we're not using the Holo Doctor?
Not the doctor!
Actually, the ship is equipped with him.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
there you go.
Oh yeah, he's the short edition, just like in the original.
Oh, he's the Mark 1 instead of the Mark 3?
He is the Mark 1. He's not the Mark 3.
Okay.
At least according to the rules that I was planning on using. We might use the other one. You never know.
Well, the Mark 3 was always kind of. I mean, he wasn't
Is it the
in
same
much.
guy?
It's not. It's a new guy.
Yeah.
But he's very much. I am at the forefront of medicine and all this stuff and all this stuff. And then Mark 1 doctor comes in and is like, no, we need to do this. And then Mark 3 doctor's like, that's ancient medicine.
Okay, so we're gonna do the Mark. Was Mark 2 ever?
Mark.
I think it was really twitchy.
Yeah, Mark 2 was. It was an
Okay, Mark
adaptation.
4 it is.
Yeah.
Mark 4 is gonna have a human body. Which actor is he played by? Is it Ken Jeong?
It is now.
It is now.
But did you die?
It is now. It is, that is a doctor.
Yeah.
It's Chang. Just like what? It's like, we're gonna hook up with this son to another son. I'll allow it.
He's our captain.
You can be the captain. You worked your way up from medical hologram to captain at the start.
When you end a transmission, toodaloo.
Shit. Oh god. Oh, I like seeing Ken Jeong get work.
I love.
He's
I just
so
watched
good.
his stand-up special. Recently.
I love
is
his
it good?
stand-ups. It is so good.
funny.
It's so.
I love that he's just a doctor who decided that he hated being a doctor. And then we're making him a doctor again.
Yeah.
Get back to work, Ken.
Next thing you know, someone's gonna pop up in the chat, and it's actually gonna be him.
It's gonna be Dog, and
And
be
he'll be
like,
like, "Welcome, doctor."
Yeah, welcome.
I endorse this just because of his bedside manner. Like, you don't want to ever leave sickbay. You're like, I feel better. No, get out of here. No, he's hilarious. I'm staying.
Pretty much.
All right, that's gonna be good.
It's gonna materialize like just buck naked every time.
I'm having a glitch with my clothing program.
He's just on the bed.
All right.
Yes.
With
I'm
a
gonna
touch
feel like a
of tongue
spider
depressor.
monkey.
So we're a little pitch to some. We're using tabletop audio tonight and throughout our gaming experience to make it more exciting. I'm going to play Forbidden Galaxy. This is going to be either really good or really bad. Oh, I know which way this is going. Well, in for a penny. All right. So, do you know what species you want to play, Krista?
I was thinking human.
You want to be human?
Because I know.
So you can
All
strap
right.
two
Yeah.
words together.
So,
Exactly.
why don't we go ahead? So, if you're playing a human, ooh, that's gonna get annoying as hell. I'm gonna stop that, and we're going back to far above the world. Tabletop Audio is a fantastic site. They don't pay anything. Actually, I sponsored them, so
I have a Patreon, so
yeah, I'm on one of their patrons. I send them a couple bucks a month because I use them enough. So, if you're a human, you are going to... So we start off, you have an 8 in every stat. Everybody does to begin with. Okay? Oh, sorry. At the start of Life Path, a character will have a score of 7 in each attribute and a score of 1 in each discipline.
Okay.
Okay. You will receive a number of things throughout character creation, which will total an additional 14 points spread across your attributes and an additional 10 across your disciplines. At the end of character creation, you can also adjust your attributes and disciplines and can lower them a little bit if you want. Humans. Instead of the normal attribute options, choose 3 and add +1 to each. So, let's take a look at your sheet as a human and think, okay, cool, I want to be a little more daring, I want to be a little more... So those go up to 8. If you are a Trill, your attributes are your +1 control, +1 presence, +1 reason. And then David, your +1 control, +1 fitness, +1 reason.
for Vulcan,
Yeah.
+1 control, +1 fitness,
Yep.
+1 reason.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then humans. When you're done there, so under the portion of your sheet that says traits, your trait is human.
I don't have a section that says traits.
So right at the
up
top.
there.
So
Okay.
it's human, and that means that you're adaptable and resilient. And the way that traits work is that they reflect your chosen species. Their quirks, strengths, and weaknesses apply to all members of that species. And they also are a prompt for me to affect you differently because of what you are, right? So humans, for example, if I put you in a position where you have to triumph using the human spirit,
Yeah.
right? Then you may get a bonus to the roll, get an extra dice, you may get a reroll.
Gotcha.
Whereas Trills, you have the trait Trill. Trill are especially resistant to parasites as a quirk of their potential to be joined. Joined Trills are entirely immune to parasitic infection. However, they tend to have strong allergic reactions to insect bites and other forms of venom, which can disrupt their neurochemistry. If they're joined, as many of the specifics of Trill physiology, especially in regards to symbiosis, they're not widely known. This can result in medical complications. So your Trill, you can later choose whether or not to be joined or not.
I think I will be not joined.
Okay.
Kelly.
Yeah.
What was the pluses to
Control?
attributes and discipline?
Control, presence, and a reason. Your disciplines aren't touched yet. And then Vulcan, due to the harsh anti-gravity world, you have extremely strong auditory and olfactory senses. You're also telepathic. Yeah, so basically you have game-breaking abilities. Enjoy. Right, I love that you have to buy Mind Meld, though. Okay.
Oh, do you have to buy it?
Yeah, it's a...
It's training.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I
see.
trained in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't just go and be like,
Hey, look! I got your brain! You're not getting it back!
All right, so species trait. You have access to 1 talent unique to that species. So, for humans, the traits are resolute, You are indomitable and unwilling to succumb to adversity. You increase your maximum stress by 3. Stress is how much, basically, it's your hit points for your brain, basically.
Okay.
And then Spirit of Discovery. Human or Game Master's discretion. You have the drive, spirit, and courage to voyage into the unknown. You may spend 1 determination to add 3 points to the group momentum pool. The normal conditions for spending determination still apply. Momentum is fantastic. The game system will make more sense as we go, but what you can do is generate these things called momentum points onto the table. So there's momentum and threat. When you have momentum on the table, it's a pool that slowly whittles down throughout play. You use it to make things happen, like I find a secret compartment. Like, you can start changing the narration. You can overclock your weapons. You can do cool maneuvers that you normally wouldn't be able to do. When you generate threat, I can do things like, cool, a Romulan a Klingon bird of prey decloaks behind you. Prepare to engage, right? Like, I make shit happen, and it's a tug of war between us, and it makes it very, very interactive with the crew. Okay, so pick one of those two. So Resolute or Spirit of Discovery.
I will take Spirit of Discovery.
Do you have opportunities to purchase talents more later down the line?
I
Or
believe you can with experience. Or I think you might be able to trade them out.
I'm taking Resolute.
Taking Resolute? That sounds good. We'll look into that, actually. Do you want to look that up real quick? Because you have a search function. Look up experience. Well, you know what? I have an index because while they published Vampire the Masquerade, they actually included an index.
what am I looking for?
Experience to see whether or not they can be purchased later. Or advancement.
Discipline,
Oh, so basically you get commendations, and that lets you buy stuff from the looks of it.
Commendations?
Yeah, because you were... Oh god, my arm. It was the last thing that you were on. So, during Crisis, the character saved the lives... Oh, no, this is your life path stuff. So, you probably will be able to pick up.
Okay.
And if you don't like it, we can trade it out.
Okay, sounds good.
So, Trill. The two options you have are Former Initiate or Joined. Former Initiate. You join the Initiate program hoping to be chosen by symbiosis. There are far more Initiates than there are symbionts. You were one of the many who failed, but the quality of even a failed Initiate is enough for Starfleet to recruit you. When you attempt a task using Control or Reason, you can spend Determination to buy a bonus D20 for that task and may re-roll your dice pool. Former Initiate may not be taken if the character has the Joined talent. And then Joined basically gives you... Remember in Mage Past Lives? Where you're like, I remember this.
Okay.
Yeah, so it kind of allows you to do that. You gain traits and a single focus for the remainder of a scene. So you're like, okay, so you have Security 3, and suddenly you're like, yes, I know Vulcan Kung Fu. I normally don't, but I do now because my last life did. So I don't know which one. You probably wanted to go Former Initiate.
Yeah, I'm going to go Former Initiate.
So... And you'll get a copy of this soon. And then, so David, there are 3 that you can do. So there's...
I was reading them.
Culinar, Ritual Journey to Purge Emotion. That seems a little...
Apparently someone is sending us memes.
Memes!
A bag of memes.
Thank
was
you.
me.
Oh,
Was that you?
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the bag of
So
memes.
there's Mind Meld and Nerve Pinch. The Nerve Pinch counts as a 1 Star Trek symbol.
One badge.
1 badge.
There you go.
I'm awful.
Well, yeah.
I was just thinking that given your character concept, you're like, pinching badges, getting badges. I'm writing it down.
That does not sound that does not sound like consent to me.
Well, this is the darkest timeline, so...
God, that's so bad.
Look, we're going to make a deal with the Ferengi. It's going to be the greatest deal in the history of forever.
Oh my god.
Because they're like Space China.
When you learn all the rules of acquisition.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
If you ever play as an NPC Ferengi, you know how to call humans, right?
How to call humans?
Yeah. Human.
Human.
I'll just have to hear the word. Perhaps we can make a deal. Woman, why are you wearing clothes?
That's a thing. That's a thing.
Wasn't
It's
me.
not. It's not just me
Just
telling you to
roleplay.
take your clothes off again.
As per usual.
As per usual. Sorry, Krista.
It's just what my character would do.
It's what my character would do. As I throw my leg over the chair,
Yeah, exactly.
my character would dislocate his hip. Okay. All right. So let's go through, and as soon as you pick that trait, we can jump into your backstories. So first of all, everybody grab a. We need a 6-sided dice for this crap, and we've got. Do you have normal 6-sided dice?
No.
Okay. So
Hologram.
starting around the table, roll this, and this is the home world, your environment. So you grew up on another species world.
Cool.
So we can figure out which one real quick by rolling a d20. So here you go.
Oh, make the match.
You're gonna roll human.
7.
You grew up on the world of the Denobulans. Is that it?
Denebulans?
Denebulan?
That's from the, Enterprise, right?
They're from Next Gen according to the table.
Really?
Yeah. They're available for play anyway. So you grew up surrounded by...
What's been in earlier season? I don't remember them at all.
Well, the
They're
main
the
character I
Federation.
think was in Enterprise. Was he the chef or something, or the doctor? He was a
I
doctor.
think he was a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, Denobulan, I think.
Totally
Yeah.
was.
So you grew up with these guys.
Yeah, that's the doctor guy.
Oh,
from
yeah,
Enterprise.
yeah.
So their whole thing is
Oh, yes.
safety in numbers.
They're very personable.
They're very gregarious. So
Okay.
So that might help you out with some background stuff. Let me go back to my page of the builds. Okay. So at this step, you gain a single value. Their value should reflect the environment and culture that you were raised within. This is a good opportunity to figure out how you view your own culture and how they connect, possibly don't connect to the philosophies and traditions of their people. Mike, can you hand me the cast of the Enterprise D? And I'll use this to give you... I don't need the ship right now, but to give you some examples. So value. Captain Picard himself has the value duty before all else. He also has haunted by the Borg, loyal to the Federation, and living through one life, I realize what I've missed. Whereas Riker has live life to the full. One true love, Deanna. Worth the risk. When all looks lost, improvise. Okay.
I want to know if Deanna has chocolate on hers.
Her entire life is
Mother issues.
I saw that
So
episode.
good.
There's
Beverly
a
Crusher.
bunch of them.
Multiple episodes.
The plays the thing.
Episode.
I believe in the sanctity of life. If there's a problem, I'm going to solve it. So I'm going to give you the Denobulans.
Especially mom issues when Ferengi are involved.
Seriously, how long
We're
was
showing up. I don't know.
It actually mentions that they have like really huge families and
Yeah, because they're the
usually-
polyamorous ones, right? That have like multiple wives and
multiple
husbands.
partners, dozens of
Very
children.
community minded.
Very-
Love should be shared.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if they actually have like a list of some of these. Examples in value. Serving Starfleet is a family tradition. Indefatigable confidence. I mean, proud and honest. Insatiable curiosity. Understands technology better than people. A responsibility to the truth. So...
So is this something I would roll for? Or something I just
this is
pick?
something you create.
Okay,
So
cool.
this is a value of your
So I'll think
character.
on that. Okay.
And then, so choose or randomly roll one other species from step 1.
Values are, I guess, are they kind of like just very short descriptions of your character's
Basically, their belief
personality?
structure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's if you had to define the character to someone who wasn't in this game,
Right.
it would be that. And then whenever it's like, for example, it's like, well, Riker, what are you going to do? I'm going to improvise. Hey, take another dice, Riker. So for upbringing, for you specifically, at this step you'll gain a single value. Should reflect that in society and culture. Choose or randomly roll another species, step 1. So then choose one of the attributes the species has as a bonus to add to yourself.
Okay.
So you already did that with the
The Nebula.
Is there a TNG character pre-gens?
These are all-
that set,
oh,
yeah.
okay.
just to give you a sense of things.
Sorry, is there a TOS one?
There's not. I didn't pay. I had to pay like $8 for that to begin with, and I was like, jeez. But the art's nice. It's just like Modiphius is nice but expensive, and we don't even have a Patreon up yet. So this is all coming out of my limited. I just technically became unemployed. Like.
So he'll be
Dark
collecting
Nine
all
pulls
the
up
spare bottles afterwards.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, they're mine now, Kristen.
If you guys want spare bottles,
Yeah.
Where the?
All right, $7 from the camping trip bottles. Yeah.
I said neither of you could go to that.
To it?
yeah, next time.
Yeah. I'll give you more notice next time. I am the worst at finding races or species.
Species.
I went the wrong way. That's why.
110.
Okay, so either fitness, insight, or reason. Add one to one of those. Mike, roll me a d6.
3.
All right, Mike. So you grew up on an isolated colony.
Yeah, that sounds normal.
The character comes from a colony that is isolated from broader galactic society, worlds like Vulcan, blah, blah, blah. At this step, the character gains a single value. The value should reflect the environment and culture that you were raised within. This is a good opportunity to consider how the character views their own culture and how they connect or possibly don't connect to the philosophies and traditions of their people. So this could be like humans first, or...
Survival of the fittest.
yeah, totally. Something like that. Choose one of the following attributes and increase it by +1, reason or insight. And then, Krista, choose any discipline and raise it by 1.
Any old discipline?
Any discipline you want. Mike, engineering, science, or medicine goes up by 1 for you. So probably think about like whether or not your moisture evaporator kept breaking down and you had to like this could be a good trait like I can survive anything.
Wait, which ones go up?
So your reason or insight goes up by 1, the attribute, and then the discipline, engineering, science, or medicine increases by 1. Pick one of those 3, and it goes up by 1. And then you still have
probably engineering.
Yeah. So like, and try to think about your trait. Like survival ones are great for a soldier. Mike, roll me a d6.
May I borrow your d6?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so Mike, you grew up
1.
on the home world. So you grew up on Trill, or
Nice.
whatever Trill.
Trill.
Is it just Trill?
Yeah.
It's Trill.
At this step, you gain a single value. It should reflect the environment and culture that there. So choose one of the 3 attributes that your species improves naturally. It goes up by an additional 1. So those were control, presence, or reason. Add +1 to one of those. So example value that they give is 4 lifetimes of adventure for like the joined. And then, actually, Krista, safety in numbers is the denobulin or denobulin.
Okay, yeah.
One.
I like
So
that
like stuff
one.
like that.
Yeah.
And then humans are things like the drive for exploration. All right. So and then discipline. Choose command, security, or science.
Oh, is there more?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's got a lock. It's fancy.
There's a Star Trek show that has a mug like this. What show was it? Or not a mug, but
A carafe?
pot. Yeah.
It's wherever they probably bought it from, like their winners or
Probably,
TJ
yeah.
Maxx.
That was command, science, or engineering?
Yes.
Or...
No, it was command, security, or science.
Okay.
What I truly loved was watching Altered Carbon and watching them be in the Methuselah's place drinking from the fanciest glasses ever. And I'm like, I have those in the cupboard. I bought them at Winners for like $3.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder, set in Vancouver, or shot in Vancouver, I wonder, they probably bought them at the same store I did. All right, roll a d6, Dave. All right, so you grew up isolated colony as well, or do you want to reroll?
I'll reroll.
Okay.
5.
So that is a starship or starbase. Okay, so you grew up in space, traveling aboard a starship or living aboard a space station or starbase. While they're unlikely to have lived aboard a Starfleet vessel, only some of them carry families. Actually, if you want to, you could have. I do not mind that at all. Many freighters, transports, and other civilian vessels have a tradition of family or generational crews. At this step, you'll gain a single value. It should reflect the culture you were raised within. So if it is the Federation, think of some Federation-style values. Attributes, control, or insight goes up by 1.
Control or insights.
And then command, con, or engineering goes up by 1 in your disciplines. Okay, next we're going to go back. Can I borrow one of those D6s again? All right, so Krista, can you roll that? We're gonna do your upbringing.
Okay.
Sorry,
Five.
could you repeat the second part of that?
Command, con, or engineering.
Okay, thanks.
You go to command.
I'm just writing down.
Sure. And actually, you know what? I'll give you. You keep that for your half of the table, and so I'm on page 113 right now, just in case you need to cross-reference something I tell you. But I think talking it out through the table is pretty handy. All right, so Krista, what'd you roll? 5?
Yes.
So you grew up in an artistic and creative household.
Okay.
So this upbringing provides you with 3 points to spread across 2 attributes. Which attributes can be increased and by how much is determined by your upbringing, but also whether or not you accepted your upbringing or rebelled against it.
Okay.
So-
Sorry, it was how many across how many?
We'll get to that in
Okay.
a second. So you're thinking about whether or not you embraced this or rebelled against it.
Yeah.
Each upbringing also gives you some other things for disciplines and should be related some way. You can choose your upbringing or randomly determine it. So right now it's artistic. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah.
So your life was filled with arts and creativity of all kinds. No matter what type of pursuits you favor, you were exposed to great works of many cultures, given every opportunity to express yourself.
So if you need anything.
If you accepted the upbringing and communicated, learned to develop an understanding of emotion and communication, you increase a certain set of things.
Mm-hmm.
If you rebelled against the upbringing, you're more inclined to action than expression. And you increase different things.
Accept.
Okay, so you're going to increase your insight by 1
Okay.
and your presence by 2. And then disciplines and focuses. So you embraced it. You have an ease with creativity and self-expression that lent to many pursuits. Increase one of the following by 1. Command, engineering, or science. You should also take a focus at this point, I believe. I'm gonna go all the way back to the beginning. Okay. I love doing this on camera. There's no pressure.
None at all.
Okay, so then you'll choose a focus for one of your skills, and the focuses are actually fairly broad. These are things.
By skill, you mean discipline?
Yes, sorry, discipline. You're absolutely right. So some things that you could use there are like anthropology, astronavigation, astrophysics, trauma surgery, linguistics, persuasion, literature, art. Okay, so you'll pick a focus, so you'll do that in a minute, and then what you'll also do, you'll have a single talent from the list of talents on page 135. So you can take any talent, just mind the prerequisites, so I'll let you browse that while I move on to Michael. So Michael, roll me a d6. Let's find out you were raised in
That would be a 6.
a diplomacy and politics.
Oh, joy.
So once again, whether or not you embrace this or went into it depends on whether or not you were raised on a Starship Troopers world, I guess. So if you accepted the upbringing of being exposed to the complexities of political thought and the nuances of diplomacy, or may have had a family member who was involved in those fields, you know, being the son of a diplomat or a general, or maybe you had an older brother who also fought in the Dominion War, or sister. So do you think you rebelled or embraced that?
Oh, probably rebelled all over the place.
All right, so increase your fitness by 1 and your reasoning by 2. You've sought tangible things to focus on. So fitness by 1, reason by 2. And your familiarity with the practices and perils of diplomacy, politics, and law allow you to increase 1 discipline, command, con, or security. Probably security. Your focus should be related to your preferred way of applying those skills. For example, espionage, interrogation, Starfleet protocol, composure, assault, like
Martial arts.
martial arts. Totally take martial arts. And then you'll gain a single talent from the talent list, which is right here. There's some really good security ones. Also, there are some additional ones in... Can you grab the operations book there? I believe there are additional ones in here that you can draw from. Although I could be wrong, because I remember there was slightly less in terms of like neat additional abilities in these books than I thought when I bought them. Oh, they've got a randomized chart in here too. Oscillate. Do they know the traits in here? They have section 30. Oh, yeah, there we go. So Mike and Krista. Here we go. So here are more security focuses, Michael. Okay. Mike, roll a d6.
Is it
Yeah,
D6 again?
of course, you'll use it anytime you want.
2.
He's just got such good etiquette, though, for a newer player. It's great. Business or trade? Does that sound interesting? Your family may have had connections on countless worlds overseeing and directing some grand business endeavor. They might have been traders involved in interplanetary flight. Either way, you grew up encountering people from all walks of life, including those from outside the Federation, and their outlook on life has been shaped accordingly.
That sounds good, I think.
Okay, embrace or rebel? So basically, are you accept the upbringing and being a cosmopolitan, ambitious lifestyle, or you stepped away from the family business to find your own identity? So the difference there is your presence is higher on the first and your insight is higher on the second.
I'll go accept.
So your daring increases by 1 and your presence increases by 2. Oh god, my left arm hurts so much.
Oh, it's gonna rub it.
It's the elbow, man. It's just...
Yeah, do one of these and just roll it.
But that hurts.
I know it does.
No, but it feels so
It'll
good
feel
afterwards.
better after.
I was training today and I'm like, I haven't really done like any arm work in months. So I started failing and I'm like, okay, these are now negative sets. Whoop, cheat. Oh god.
Yep.
No, because my workout buddy is like 6 months ahead of me and I'm like, oh god, no. Because I was too busy finishing grad school.
Yeah, now you gotta just come in the mornings with me.
Yeah, I'm going to start trying to get up at 5. Your discipline, you are going to increase 1 of command, engineering, or science. And you should take a focus in one of your disciplines related to the nature of your family's business, covering skills that are valuable to trade or were useful to the family business in other ways. Finance, geology, linguistics, manufacturing, metallurgy, negotiation, surveys, It could be flying if you were the pilot there. It could be like repairs or something like that. And then you'll gain a single talent from the list of talents, which is on... Oh, it's actually tier 2. So
Creation and play.
Yep. And then if you hand me the command book, I can look up some additional ones there.
Yeah, it's probably going to be... grew up flying the interplanetary trade routes.
Okay. Hey, Mike, what page... Oh, you have a... Can you keep that book open to the skills?
Yep.
And then here are some additional con talents, which might be good for you. All right. Now, David, let's go to you.
Okay.
Roll that d6. You're going to roll a 1, I can tell.
5.
Artistic and creative, or do you want to roll again?
You know what? I'll stick with it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So artistic and creative. Did you accept it or rebel against it? Do you have a greater understanding of emotion and communication, or do you look? Are you looking for action?
Probably accept it. Maybe that explains why he's kind of exploring his hedonistic side.
And you're both cool having a similar upbringing?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So you can have something to chat about and bond over. That's good. So your insight's going to increase by 1.
Okay.
And your presence is going to increase by 2. If you are ever above a 14 or a 13 on your stats, we're going to have to adjust them. So
sorry, one more time.
Plus 2 to presence.
Plus 2 presence.
Plus 1 insight. You will also choose one of the following disciplines to increase: command, engineering, or science. And then you'll pick a single focus that you relate to some way of your background. That's, linguistics, psychology, observation, persuasion, anything like that. And you'll gain a single talent from the list of talents, which we have a couple of books circulating around, as well as that printout. So now we're going to look at Krista's time in Starfleet. So Krista, roll a d6, please. So, years spent in Starfleet Academy were some of the most memorable and definitive of your life. Your character's time at Starfleet is... So, this was your Academy track. So, at least originally, you were put on Command track. Does that sound interesting to you? It does not
Probably because she was so personable.
Okay.
Like, she probably just does well with people.
All right, and so you don't have to stay in command if you don't want to, but
Okay.
we'll see where you end up.
Yeah.
The command track is for cadets who aspire to command their own starship someday. It focuses on leadership and interpersonal skills, diplomacy, decision-making in crisis situations, and understanding of protocol and procedure. Many command track cadets begin their careers as flight control officers and pilots, while their training can be put to test on a smaller scale. You gain a single value, which should reflect an aspect of your beliefs developed during your time at the Academy.
Okay.
So, some ideas of values here are things like inexperienced and idealistic. Throughout the handbook and wrote my own. Always prepared, always vigilant, precise to a fault. Fast ships in strange new worlds, exploring to test new theories, a theory for every situation. Or it could be things like, I think I had one on a character that was friends are better than enemies.
I was going to say something like that. I like that. I might tweak it.
Or
something
best
like
foot
that.
forward or something like, you know. So a diplomatic one. So you're going to gain 3 attribute points as well. And they are going to be... You can put them in 3 different attributes, or you can pair them in 2 and 1. You can't do just 3 and 1. You may pick these freely. So, you also have to select whether or not command or con is your primary, your major, basically in school.
Probably command.
Okay? So, you studied it intensely, increase it by 2. Character's going to be completely different than what we planned, isn't it?
Yeah.
But hey, this is her life.
Well, I feel like that's what she studied in, and was just like, well,
But who
slowly
knows?
gonna make a movie.
Who knows what she's going to be, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because we haven't even gotten to your time in the field, and that's when this actually gets really crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, and then your minor subjects increase. You'll select 2 other disciplines, your minors, which increase by 1.
Science and medicine.
Cool. You can have nothing higher than 4 at this stage.
Okay.
All right, and then focus. You will gain 3 focuses. At least one of should relate to your chosen track. Astronavigation, composure, diplomacy, extra vehicle activity, evasive action, helm operations, inspiration, persuasion, small craft, etc. So that's on the list on the printout there on page 116.
Okay.
So I think you have a...
Oh, I got it underneath, yeah.
Do you have another? Oh, that doesn't cover that one. It's the thicker one. It's the big one.
Okay.
And then you'll also gain a single list of talents. And that, I would look at the other books and look through those.
A single list?
Pardon me, a single talent
Okay.
as well. So probably the book that Mike was looking at.
The command book?
Yeah, it's probably the command book, but because the science book hasn't been released yet, so I'm sorry. So check the main book, and also there's a lot of like cool like con and command talents here.
Is there a list of focuses somewhere?
That's all cool.
Check the internet.
Yeah, yeah, it's on con because that's what I was looking at.
Oh, is it just commands for? Oh, is there? Where's the freaking? Oh, command talents. Cool. All right, Michael, roll me a d6, buddy. Anyway, sorry this takes a little while to go around.
5.
All right, so you started on the science track. Do you want to keep with that, or would you like to do operations?
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards operations.
I mean, you rolled a
Makes
4.
more sense. Oh, look at that. It's a 4.
Okay. Well, unless you started as science and got pulled into action.
I don't picture my character having any interest in science.
All right, then we'll downgrade you by 1 point. So you will gain a single value, which should reflect some aspect of the character's beliefs. So security, of course, or operations is all about dealing with realities of missions. So start thinking about things like that, and feel free to pull out your phones and like Google this, because there are probably tons. Google Plus had a huge community for this. And I think a lot of it still survived. So yeah, what are you thinking for shoot first? Don't start fights, finish them.
No, I'm thinking, what's the from Cobra Kai?
No mercy.
Yeah, essentially something like that.
Strike
first. Strike hard.
Strike first, strike hard, no mercy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, hesitation is death. Things like that are... Yeah, your character's going to have some interesting growth patterns.
Yeah.
Michael's characters always tend to have very interesting trajectories, so...
Yeah.
You'll gain 3 points, which may be split between 2 or 3 attributes. So increase 3 by 1, or 1 by 2 and another by 1. You may pick these freely. Yeah, so whichever attributes you like.
I don't see a list of focuses anywhere.
Damn. That first one is it? The one that says focuses list?
It just has a list with nothing. Doesn't say anything. It's just...
It's not at the bottom?
No.
Okay, then just make it up. Like, whatever you think would be acceptable.
What are they like...
Basically, they're specialties. So if you were taking art, so art would be a specialty for... what discipline would that be? Probably command? Science would be something like, botany.
Okay.
Yeah.
What focuses are you looking for? For which?
So, just trying to figure out what they are.
So focuses.
Yeah, I know there's some focuses in the smaller books.
So
I guess they don't have descriptions on them, right? They're just the names.
they're just a single thing. So
Okay. So this is all there is then.
The disciplines the characters are trained in are broad. Focuses allow a character to demonstrate talent for a narrower set of disciplines, representing specialization and expertise that comes from a deeper study. Focuses are not tied to specific disciplines. That was my bad. Sorry, guys. Instead, they can be applied to any task you attempt as long as the focus would fall under that. So, for example, if you had science computer systems,
Right.
but you were at a bar trying to flirt with a cute programmer, you could totally use computer systems with something not related to science. You could use it with command to be like, so, what do you think of the TX-82s? A lot faster than the 83s. I like them retro. It's more logical. Give them the eyebrow. Can you do the single eyebrow raise?
Yeah.
Nice, good. Otherwise, I was going to say turn away from the camera. And just
What
raise.
about the hand
Raise
thing?
those.
You gotta do the hand thing. Oh yeah.
Nice. Okay, back to Michael then. So,
I can't with my right hand.
so
I can
you
do it fine with my
You
left.
can train yourself pretty easily. So, can you move your pinky away?
I can get it. It just shakes. Yeah.
You just have to-
See, I can barely get my pinky out.
But so
Need someone to like.
so do that,
yeah.
and then pull your pinky in, and then pull your pinky back out, and it'll pull the tendon with it.
We'll get some tape.
Yeah.
There we go.
We'll get some-
Yeah.
I can do it with my left hand. I
Montage.
can do
We
it
need a
fine with this
montage
one.
of you like tying
I just-
weights to your
I have
fingers.
radial tunnel and tendon issues in this hand.
Do
Okay.
you? Oh,
Yeah, I do.
all right, you're out of the game.
There's a focus for intoxicating beverages.
Yeah, because you know your wines. So, Michael, the other things that you're going to get for that, so you picked your disciplines.
Yeah.
And now you're going to pick your... Oh, sorry, you picked your attributes. Your disciplines. Engineering or security is your major.
Yeah.
That goes up by 2. And then pick any other 2 disciplines. They go up by 1 each.
I only got 1 focus, or how many focus did I get?
You, at this point, have 1, I believe. But let me... So you got 1 from your...
Operating, artistic.
So you got 1 from step 3, and we're on step 4 right now, so you're about to get another one.
Okay.
So pick a focus that's related to your upbringing. Okay, so and then Mike, you're going to come up with 3 focuses, at least one of which should relate to your chosen track, like hand-to-hand combat, infiltration, interrogation, survival is a really good one. And you'll gain a single talent from the list of talents, which the security talents are in operations, so enjoy. Although there are some badass ones in the core too. All right, Mike, roll a d6, or just choose if you would prefer.
Well, I'm curious what this is going to pull out. 5?
So that would have been sciences.
No.
Okay, so operations or command.
Command.
You wanted to be a pilot, so
Yeah.
Okay, so Mike, command track is for, and David, which one do you want to go into? You want to go into command? Or do you want it to be random?
You can still be like commander if you're a science officer, right? Because that's what.
Is that what happens?
Because isn't that what Spock was? He was sciences, right?
Yeah, Spock was science, but he was also second in command.
So how does that work? Because I remember there was an episode where Picard went and had his past rewrote by Q, and he ended up as a lowly science officer. And
Well, that was because he had no drive.
Yeah.
It wasn't because he...
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't because he went sciences. It was because like he was always like playing too safe.
Yes, you can absolutely have command as a science officer.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do sciences.
Wait, okay. Then we'll do Mike real quick,
Yeah.
and then we'll go to you. So, Mike, you'll gain a single value which should reflect some aspect of your beliefs that developed during your time at the Academy in the command track. So think about that. That'll be something like
What did you pick?
faster, better, faster.
Faster.
I've taken diplomacy, cultural studies, trauma
It
surgery.
could be
I'll take xenobiology.
Fast Ships and Strange New Worlds is one they have. It could be what's out there.
Did I also get a value from backstory for Homeworld?
For Homeworld, you did not get a value for that.
Okay, I didn't think I did.
I know I have a checklist that I can go through at the end of this to make sure.
Okay, cool. For this one, I think this is going to be.
And it could be something as well, like a ship's only as good as their crew. And then you start focusing on the people more than the machinery, right? Because it's a team effort.
Mm-hmm.
The people don't need to survive, the ship does.
I'll think on that for a minute.
Okay, so attributes. You'll gain 3 points, which can be split in either a 1 amongst 3, so three single dots, or a 2 and a 1. So whatever you'd like to split them on, go ahead.
So my partner just sent me, because he's watching, a
Hey.
picture of him doing the
Nice.
the and I was like, damn you.
Doesn't matter. I mean, if you have rings, it's kind of easier.
Right? You'd think. They'll stick to one another.
It's just weight. They're
That's
magnetic.
true.
They're
There we go. I just have to put it forward a little bit.
I'd just be like, I'm just gonna look it.
I did it!
Oh no!
Damn it.
Where's the damn tape?
It's a rude,
taping your
it's a
toes
rude
together
gesture
makes
in
it
my
sounding-
culture if you put it forward.
Oh, is that bad?
No, I mean like in Vulcan culture.
In Vulcan, it's yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's
Like, which culture are we talking about
What are
here?
you talking
Yeah.
about? It's like doing this
Yeah.
to someone? Yes.
Just
And
Rick
just
and
hear-
Morty it.
You just hear gasps
Yeah.
on Vulcan. You're like,
Live long and only prosper mildly.
My mother was a saint.
My mother was a saint.
Oh, yeah.
You have to be logical. Space Italy.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
So Mike, then you're going to pick. So your major was con, so increase that by 2 because you're a pilot. And then any other discipline, you can increase 2 of them by 1.
I can increase 2 of them by 1.
I don't know what this is a reference to. It must be one of your conversations.
Yeah.
But Christopher said it's because he didn't get a captain's nerve from getting impaled by drunk Klingons.
oh, he didn't get impaled by drunk Klingons. He got impaled by like the freaky. It
Yeah.
wasn't clean. It wasn't
The
Klingons.
guys with the
Yeah.
predator mandibles.
Yeah.
And he stabbed him through the heart, so he has like the robot heart. Because Picard doesn't have a heart. I'm gonna have so much Earl Grey tea during this.
Next week.
Next week, it's gonna be Earl Grey in the
all
pot.
the time.
And
It's gonna be
if
hot.
if you want more, you know what you gotta say.
Tea.
Tea.
Okay.
Oh, great.
Hot.
Number 1, make it so.
Like it's our number 1. In a little bit, I'll have to take a number 1. Because I've had so much Earl Grey tea.
Exactly.
That stuff goes through quickly. Warp 9, straight to the pants.
Right to the phaser banks.
So, Mike, you're going to pick 3 focuses. These should be related to your chosen track. Things like astronavigation, composure, diplomacy, extra vehicle activity, evasive action, helm operations.
To be fair, it does say at least one should be.
Yeah, they can all be if you want. So the small craft is different than large craft, obviously. Evasive maneuvers is good. So pick 3, and then you'll also gain a talent from the list of talents, which should be related to this in some form. So there's a list in the book. There's also the books. All right, now we're going to move on to science. All right, so you have a single value, which should reflect your training. So doctors, nurses, and counselors serve above Starfleet facility. Do you need more pellets?
I just needed to move back, and I was like stuck forward. Yeah, I'm good now.
Okay.
So this is me, right?
So this is you. We're on David.
All right. So
It's David time.
3 values.
Yeah, there's single value, which should
one value.
one value.
Interesting.
No waiting.
May I borrow the command book, please?
This one.
Yeah,
The other
cool
thing
one.
I'm holding.
Yeah, so and then Con's like 3 pages forward.
Yeah.
So I only have 1 value total so far, I believe.
This is going to be your second.
Oh. Okay. Where do I get the other value from?
From your upbringing.
No, not from your upbringing, from your race.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
You got it from being a
Race.
Vulcan.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so
Plus 1
Christopher
value.
apologizes for misremembering the episode. It's been 25 years.
unacceptable. It's on Netflix.
Go watch it again.
Okay, so you gain a single value, which should be some aspect of your beliefs that developed during your time in the academy. I would think that with sciences, it could be things like insatiable curiosity or a lust for life or something like that.
So for my 2 values, I think they might be too similar.
What
no others by living as them. Life is precious and short.
I don't think those are dissimilar. What do you guys think?
I think they're too similar.
Okay, so why don't we take a second? So everybody pause for 1 sec. So your 2 values are...
I just made these up, right? Like
Yeah.
there's no list that I go from?
Nope, there's no list.
So my 2 values are know others by living as them. So, yeah.
mile in the shoes, yeah.
Life is precious and short. And
Okay.
his focus is xenobiology.
I think those are really valid. Do you have yours figured
I don't
out?
have mine yet.
Okay,
No.
Michael, do you have yours?
The values?
Yeah.
Yeah, survival of the fittest. Martial arts is the way. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy.
Okay, so you guys have the opposite characters. That's great.
Exactly.
And then Mike, do you have any for you?
I don't have any yet, but
That's okay.
I'm throwing some ideas around.
But you got some ideas from hearing other people talk, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, David, you're going to take one of your attributes up. So you are going to gain 3 points among your attributes. You can raise 1 by 2 and 1 by 1, or you can raise 3 by 1. Your call.
So I just can't spend 3 on 1.
You can't spend 3 on 1. I know it's an awkward thing to say. So you will gain also are you science or medicine?
Science.
Okay, science is going to go up by 2, and then 2 other disciplines of your choice will increase by 1.
Hey Kelly,
Yeah.
I got another talent too, right?
Yes, from this.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And then before we go into step 5, I'm going to just do a quick roll call of what everybody should have. And then I think I'm going to... Do you want to randomly generate the captain?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I don't know if they're male or female. I don't know what species they are.
I think we should have a bit of veto input at some point.
Oh,
in
yeah,
case
yeah,
something
yeah.
is completely out in the left field. But...
I think so.
The captain is just the AI of the starship.
Oh,
There you
God.
go.
Just no face.
I mean, it depends on how advanced our Luna class really is.
That's a dice roll.
And at the end, it turns out that Starfleet, some Joe in chair is actually commanding the AI.
No,
the guy with the walkie-talkie.
Yeah,
Starfleet is actually just a simulation.
yeah. Oh god.
Nice.
Science. Scene. All right.
End scene.
All right. So, and then Dave, you're going to have 3 focuses, at least one of which should relate to your chosen track. Examples are aerophysics, botany, xenobiology, which is, you've seen field dynamics, virology, trauma surgery, quantum mechanics, psychiatry, physics, linguistics, diseases, infectious diseases, genetics, genetic geology. And then you also gain a single talent from the list of talents, which are in this book or on the big printout. The science book I do not possess yet.
Okay.
So unfortunately, you're
They
limited to what's
Do
in...
sell it online, but it's like 50 Canadian? Yeah.
Yeah, and I would get it if there was a hard... Well, but then you have to pay for shipping because they send it out of...
Oh, that's just the PDF.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah.
See, I would happily throw $50 for a hardcover, but... Okay, so I'm going to go back and read off what everybody should have at this juncture. So, greetings from the Dominion.
Go back to Carias, yeah.
Okay, so step 1. You gained a species trait. You gained a +1 to each of 3 attributes for your species. You gained access to a talent unique to that species. And you gained an additional talent from the book.
Oh, we gained a talent for our species?
Yeah, you got Trill.
The talent is your species.
Oh.
So you got 1 talent for your species, and then
An additional one you picked.
Oh, that was
that's
the one you
from-
picked the initiate, the former initiate.
Oh,
that was
okay.
your-
That was the species talent. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so it's access to talents unique to that species. And then, wait, do you not have to take the species talent? I thought you did.
One of them you have to take from your species talent. The other one you can pick from the other books, I believe.
Yeah?
So you should have 3 talents total?
Two talents. 1 from your species and 1 from the whatever book. The extra book.
Gains a single talent. May be chosen freely. Oh, you know what? I apologize. It's actually not. You may choose your species talent. So if you guys are looking through the books and you're like, you know what, being a human's great and all, but I would much rather have, like, you know, the ability to drift my ship, you can swap that out. So that was my mistake.
Please pick that.
If you're not out of...
We need some, like...
We're going to Space Tokyo.
That's me.
Space Tokyo, space drifting, it's all fine. So, at step 2, you gained a value, +1 to a single attribute, +1 to 1 discipline. Step 3 was your upbringing. You gained +2 to an attribute, +1 to a second attribute, +1 to a discipline, a focus, and a talent. And then finally, at step 4 of 7, you gain value, 3 points to split among your attributes,
Oh, no, you're right. 3 talents.
Okay.
2 points to a single discipline, +1 to another discipline, 3 focuses, and 1 talent. So, in grand total, you should have 3 talents at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You should have 1 value. You should have 2 values.
Okay.
You should have attribute bonuses of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You should have +10 attribute points at this point, I believe.
Cool.
So you started off with 7s.
Oh, okay. What did you say about this 14 attributes at the beginning?
That's... You'll be getting those throughout play.
Okay, I need to start again.
Okay.
I'm so lost.
So you started off with 7 in your attributes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then as we went, you progressed, you added more and more.
Well, that's what because I thought it was like you had 14 points to split amongst them, and then you got all these bonuses.
You get 14 points throughout the life path, so 10 of them have been assigned already. 10 of those 14. It just says that by the end, you'll have picked up 14 more points.
Oh, okay. Pointless. Okay.
I'm just reading it as it's written.
Well, yeah, no, that's not your fault. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to quickly catch you up there. I had a feeling that I said something there that was like a little unclear, so I apologize for that. So, because you're human, you get to choose 3 attributes and add +1 to them.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, I have 3 attributes and add +1.
Yeah. So let's start off with that. Everything's at 7.
And then 3 attributes +1 or +1 +2.
Yeah. And that, you've had that happen twice. So you... Well, let's go through this real quick.
Okay.
So first off, choose 3 attributes, add +1 to them.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Then, because you grew up in a Denebulan world,
Yeah.
fitness, insight, or reason. Increase one of those by 1.
Right, and I picked insight.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Okay.
where that one comes from.
So then, we're on step 3, which is your upbringing, which was an artsy subculture, and that gave you...
A value.
It
No.
also, yeah, it gave you a value, but it also gave you some extra stats. So your upbringing gave you insight by 1 and presence by 2.
Okay, I've got that written down. Okay, got it.
And then, so in step 4, that was the one where you could spend 2 points to one attribute and 1 to another, or 3 individual attributes by 1.
Okay, and that's for my schooling.
That's for your schooling.
Okay. All right, I've got that.
So now we're on board? Okay, cool. All right, so We are about to go into career length. So at this point, at this stage, you have a choice to make about your character. The decision is a clear one. Is the character a young officer, a veteran with decades of experience, or just an experienced officer in the middle? So a veteran I'm thinking Picard would be a veteran. Spock would definitely be a veteran.
Oh, yeah.
An experienced officer would be Riker.
Yeah.
And then probably, do you think Geordi would be experienced or young at the beginning?
Jordy would be experienced.
Yeah.
He's very focused on his engineering, because he's also not just engineering for the Enterprise, but he has a lot of theoretical stuff as well.
Oops, I wonder if the dog's trying to get in. Okay, so this stage is going to grant you a value and a talent. It should be always chosen randomly or manually rather than rolled. You can choose to roll if you want to, though. I don't care. Does anybody want to randomly generate this section? Or do they want to just pick experience, veteran, or young?
I'm happy to pick. I would like to play a younger.
Okay, so a young officer is defined by their potential more than their skill. Their raw talent and their expectations of what the universe is like have not yet been tempered by reality. You receive a value which must reflect your inexperience and naivete in some way. And you'll also receive a single talent called untapped potential.
Okay.
That talent means you may not have or increase any attribute above 11 at character creation, and any discipline above 4 while you have this talent, and may have to adjust at the end of character creation to accommodate for this. Whenever you succeed in a task for which they bought one or... Second. Yeah. So what it means is that whenever you buy momentum, or whenever you buy additional dice with momentum or threat, you roll a 6-sided dice. You receive bonus momentum equal to the roll of the dice, and add 1 threat if an effect is rolled. So basically, you gamble because you're untested, and when you make mistakes and successes, they tend to be bigger.
Okay. Either way.
Yeah, it sounds a little difficult right now, but it'll make sense in play.
I understand the theory of it.
Yeah, the theory of the mechanics is interesting. Who is being an experienced officer that mid-level? Okay, are you both being veterans?
I'm kind of on the fence between experienced and veteran.
So let me read out what the difference is. So you receive a value that can be chosen freely, or if you're a veteran, you have to choose a value which is about your long career. Your talent, you receive a single talent as an experienced officer, which can be chosen from anything. The veteran gains the veteran officer talent, which is you are wise and experienced and draw upon inner reserves of willpower and determination in a more measured and considered way. Whenever you spend a point of determination, which is like a point of willpower in World of Darkness, roll a...
what is that? I haven't played.
Oh, sorry. You have, actually. It's only been 15 years, but you have. So basically, it's a limited pool of bonus dice.
Okay.
Inspiration.
Okay, cool.
So an effect is rolled. So you roll this, and if you get one of the badge symbols, an effect happens, and you immediately regain that point of determination. So basically, you have a 1 in 3 chance of not having spent that because you're so determined. You have to take that one if you are a veteran.
I think I have to go experienced because you used the word measured, and I don't picture my character being measured.
I agree.
I'm going experience.
And what is experience to?
So you pick any value and you pick any talent. So it's entirely open.
Cool.
Experienced is good for your first time playing, I think. But if you want to be experienced, you think you can handle it, do it if you want. They say that a veteran would be decades of experience in the service of Starfleet and have served on many ships and star bases. The judgment and opinions are highly regarded by subordinates, peers, and even superiors. Birds are loud tonight.
Yeah, I'm on the fence. What do you guys think? I'm open to some suggestions.
You're a Vulcan, so you live longer.
That's true.
Yeah.
And have you prospered?
Well, let's see. Let's roll the dice.
Roll the dice, see if you prospered.
Quick question. So, we only have 1 point to any discipline we want.
Yeah, I think
Everything
as a
else
Vulcan,
is
it's a lot
determined by
easier to
this
be
craft.
veteran.
You have some stuff at the very end
Yeah.
of the integration.
You know,
Okay.
it'd be like, you know, the difference between a veteran human and a veteran elf.
Sure, let's do. Yeah, if you guys think veteran fits more, then sure, let's do veteran.
Sure, you're a pretty early veteran. How's that?
Okay.
So you have the ability at the very end to adjust attributes by 2 points and disciplines by 2 points. So you have some, you have some customization.
Cool.
Okay. Now let's get into some gross stuff. Krista,
Hi.
career events. Your career is a tapestry of events and experiences, but among this, few have been pivotal moments in your character's life. A character defines these moments as important in retrospect, and what seems definitive to an ensign in the early 20s may be inconsequential decades later. This is defined by 2 identical steps. The player rolls or chooses a career event from the following list, gains whatever benefits it provides, and then repeats the process, gaining 2 definitive career events.
Okay.
Okay? Each career event increases 1 attribute and 1 discipline by 1 point each, and gives the character an additional focus. Which attribute and discipline are improved? Well, the guidelines are suggested. Some career events also grant the character the option of a trait to reflect some major lasting impact. These are not compulsory because traits can really affect the way you play your character. So, can you please roll, and this is where we have to start getting creative, roll a 20-sided dice.
18.
All right, 18.
That's a hefty die.
At some point during your career,
Yeah, I love it.
you solved an engineering crisis. Does that sound like you?
Probably accidentally, yeah.
You were instrumental in ending a crisis caused by malfunctioning technology and saved many lives in the process. What technology malfunctioned and why was it dangerous? And how did you solve the problem? So think on this for a couple minutes.
Okay.
I'm imagining you as like, you know, the drum cat meme. Like something was going wrong with like engineering. You're just like, and then everything was okay.
Yeah, percussive payments. Well, what's your background so far? So you were raised on a art world.
Yeah.
It could be an engineering crisis. Could be musical, harmonic frequencies.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds wrong.
Is your partner Chris?
Christopher, yeah.
Christopher, hello. And he says, just divert all unspent points to the deflected dish.
That's true. You could also have something like you're hanging out with a bunch of people or you're trying to solve it and you're like, color matching. How do we do this? Well, obviously that's cyan and that's...
Yeah.
What? How can you tell the difference? I took a color theory course.
For those of you that haven't seen Discovery... Not a big spoiler, but there's a point where Officer Tilly... Have you guys watched some of it?
Not at all.
Okay.
One episode? The first
One?
episode?
So Tilly is the greatest thing. She's me turned up to 11. She's got this huge head of red hair, and she's just like a total goof. But in one of the episodes, she goes, "Yeah, I can fix this. But I'll probably have to cover one eye." And they're like, "What?" She's like, "I've only ever done this once in a drinking game."
All right. So start
something like that.
So start thinking
Okay.
about that. And I'll give you your bonuses right now, just so you have them.
Okay.
While you brainstorm this. So your precision with dealing with complex technology increases your control by 1. And your engineering goes up by 1 as well, the discipline.
Okay.
You'll also gain a focus reflecting the technology involved in the event.
Okay.
So that could be plasma power systems, fusion reactors, warp engines, anything like that. Just take a look. What's up?
Quick question.
Quick answer.
For focus,
Rutabaga.
I'm thinking about something like being able to hack something, or if, like on the starship, maybe like, you know, buffing up whatever bullshit technology.
Okay.
What
With
they call-
Gemma.
It's called a bypass.
Yeah, bypass whatever, and then maybe like while I'm down there, I'm like, you know, I'm able to augment the tricorder or something. Like, what would that be a focus?
That may be a focus.
What
Sure.
kind of focuses would that be?
So that could be. What do you want?
Hotwire.
Yeah, it could be. I think improvisation's a bit big for that.
Fast and Furious.
So what do you want it to cover? Just
Mixed technology.
just technologies, or
Well, I'm thinking of doing both. He's into xenobiology. He's also into like the opposite side, which is like the technology, because there's also synthetic life now out there. So he's studying like both sides of that.
okay.
So I'm in my head, I'm imagining him being useful as like the comms person scanning on the starship and finding vulnerabilities, and then when he's on the away team, he's like the tricorder guy.
Okay.
He's like, oh, that guy's over there.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. There could be things
But I'm
like
trying to find what that would be.
computers, quantum mechanics. It could be.
So far I've got xenobiology, starship computer systems, theoretical experimental physics.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. What would like the tricorder be?
Tricorder could be.
Handheld computer systems?
Is that on here?
No, but it could be.
Oh,
Just-
okay.
Be computers.
It could just be
handle it.
computers. It
Yeah,
could
It's just an
be.
extension, really.
It could just be tricorders. Like, I'll allow tricorders if you want. Or what would tricorders would be? What, field equipment?
Field equipment.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be scanning.
Scanning? Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, my last one may be. Do you guys have Xeno? What is it called? Xenovirology?
Xenoviruses.
Mm.
Do you have xenovirology?
Anyone?
No, I don't have.
Okay.
Well, you're the medical officer, right?
I've got mutant
Yeah.
raid.
Maybe
Hawk.
I'll leave that. to
No,
you.
take it.
But looks like she might be the.
I'm
might be-
apparently moving towards engineering, apparently.
No, you're moving toward all sorts of things. All right, so we're gonna move on.
I had a quick question for you as well.
Yeah.
That last one, did we get for the experienced officer? Did we get a talent or a focus?
You got. I think actually, didn't I say both?
No,
No, you got a value and a talent.
A value and a talent. Thank you.
Wasn't I supposed to roll 2?
Yes. Do you want to roll another one, or do you want to keep brainstorming what you did?
I might as well just roll the
All
second
right,
one
let's
as well.
do it.
I'm secretly hoping that it ends up in medicine. 5.
Required to take command.
Oh, fair enough.
Does that sound interesting?
Yep.
Okay. During a mission, a crisis left the mission's leader unable to lead. This required you to take command, something you may not have been prepared for. If you want, you could have started off in science and then been like doing some basically internship aboard a ship like Wesley Crusher did. And you're like, yeah, I want to be in sciences. And it's like, oh no, the captain's dead and you had to take command. And then they're like, no, we're shifting your major.
Fair,
You're
okay.
now in the command track. Because you did so well.
Cool.
What was the mission? What went wrong? Was the mission successful despite its loss? So did this make you or break you? Regardless, your daring goes up by 1.
Okay.
And then being required to lead, your command skill discipline goes up by 1. You'll also gain a focus, which would reflect such as composure, inspiration, lead by example, cool heads prevail, like those kind of things. All right, Mike. Roll me a d20. Michael, roll me a d20.
Be a 15.
Learns a unique language. Does that sound good? He's learning to swear in that language. Blakdak.
Yeah, I kind of get the feeling my character would be very proficient in a lot of profanity.
Encountered a species with an unusual form of communication and learned to communicate with them. Who were the aliens that you encountered? Was the encounter tense or peaceful? What method of communications did they use and how did you learn it? So you learned a lot by understanding others from the experience, and you increase your insight by 1. And you gain your science is going to go up by 1 as well.
So if it's surveillance / counter surveillance, that would be like scanning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. And if we come up with a better thing for that, we can always switch it. Like, this is a very fluid engine. You'll also gain a focus, such as linguistics, cultural studies, negotiations.
Negotiations.
Aggressive negotiations.
Yeah, aggressive.
This is not Star Wars. Okay, and then roll again. Let's see what happened.
Oh no! There's a Luna class right there.
That would be an 8.
Nice. Conflict with a hostile creature.
Probably
Hey,
the exact same one.
there she is.
Wasn't
I'll just
How the
reverse
talents?
them, and then I figured out how to communicate.
I
with them.
have command and con talents in here.
The character was
Okay.
involved in a major battle. Who was the enemy with this battle? Why did the battle occur? Was it fought in space, on the ground, or both? What did you have to do to survive? All right. Fitness is going to go up by 1, first off. Then your security is going to go up by 1.
So I'm at 12 fitness right now.
Yeah, and now you're at 12?
Maxed out.
I think you can go up to 13, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's...
Did you want the command book?
Sure. I'll just take a quick look at it.
They're just all. I'm in con right now.
Okay.
You not have more than 12, so you are maxed out.
I'm hitting the ceiling.
If you go above, we'll just redistribute at the end. Okay. So then your security is going to go up by 1, like I said, and you'll gain a focus, which should reflect skills you hone during fighting, such as hand phasers, hand-to-hand combat, shipboard tactical systems, infiltration, espionage, demolitions.
What's the maximum your discipline can go to right now?
5.
Okay, I maxed out my security too.
Okay, so the Gorn.
I'm not sure what that's in reference to.
I don't know. Just yell the Gorn. The Gorn.
The Gorn!
So
Get me a mortar.
So basically, just add +1 to it, and then at the end, we'll skim the cream off the top into something else.
It's fine. Like I just hit the limit, so
Oh, nice.
it's
So
it
you're
goes
very
past this.
secure in yourself.
Very secure, and very fit.
Very fit, very secure. You can do the boob dance.
Yeah.
Leave one out.
Okay, Terry Crews.
Oh my god! Please tell me your character. Do you want it? Can you be Terry Crews, or are you the more Vin Diesel?
Speak in third person.
So I have to eat yogurt from now
Yes,
on. I can do
exactly.
that.
Talk in the third person.
Oh look, Terry loves a space parfait. I have to make it to the space farmers market.
I do like yogurt.
Oh, that'd be great. And your character like has a family and kids and is just trying to. This is turning into Star Brooklyn Nine-Nine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go!
Just like that meme I shared. All right, so that's going to be you, Mike. So come up with a focus that works for that. Now we're going to go over to Michael or Mike. We're going to Mike.
Mike. Or McGee. Alternately McGee.
All right, my guy.
All right. D6 or D20?
D20.
Ho-ho-ho!
And the badge is a 1.
1. What'd I get?
Ship destroyed.
Oh, wow.
The ship you were serving on was lost, destroyed during a mission, and you were one of the few who survived. What was the mission? Was it something routine that went horribly wrong, or was it something perilous? What destroyed the ship? How many survivors were there, and how long did it take before they were recovered?
I'm thinking Romulans.
You thinking Romulans? So jot this stuff down. Like, this is important to your backstory.
Yeah, I'm thinking Romulans.
Okay. So start brainstorming what this event was. Okay. Hell, I mean, technically, you would have been serving during the time where you could have been fought by Eric Bana.
It's true.
What the hell was his name? Nero.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, because he did a lot of damage when he stole that ship, right?
Yeah, he did. He was running around for like 20 years.
But that was in the alternate timeline.
Yeah, it was in the alternate time.
But he did damage before he jumped, right?
Yeah, he did.
Cool. So you theoretically could have met Spock. Or served in the same fleet as Spock.
You were destroyed by Romulans, you said?
I'm thinking Romulans, yeah.
Yeah.
It could have been destroyed by Nero.
Yeah. Like,
After he picked up the Borg technology from the Obsidian... No, not the Obsidian... Is it the Obsidian Order?
Sure.
No, the Obsidian Order is Cardassians, right?
Yeah. that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Whatever equal Obsidian Order was for the Romulans was called.
the Tel Shiar?
Tashiar, right?
Yeah.
They had
I got one on the nerds!
Yeah.
Yeah, they had like the secret cache of Borg
They
technology
did.
that they gave to him.
So this was
That-
Christopher's
yeah.
suggestion for my...
Oh, wow, that's a lot, Christopher. Good job. Work some music into that, and I think it's good. Oh, come from a sewing background.
Like, right, like as a... Like, I don't
Sure,
know if that's
that's-
sure.
You were a costume designer for like the Royal Opera.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ship destroyed by Nero's
Yeah.
ship.
Because callbacks are great.
Callbacks are great.
Your daring is going to go up by 1. And your security is going to go up by 1 for surviving perilous situations. You will also pick up a focus, which should reflect your experiences like survival, extra vehicular operations, small craft, evasive maneuvers,
Yeah, evasive maneuvers.
crash landings. Cool. And then you're going to roll 1 more.
This roll is optional, right?
You can choose if you'd like to.
Is this the list?
That is the list, yeah.
All right, and this is a D20 again?
It's a D20. It's kind of fun.
This is 20?
13?
Called out a superior.
Yup.
See, like some of these are kind of good. So a character was placed in a situation where they had to choose between a trusted superior and their own ideals, and they chose to follow their ideals. Who was the superior? What did they ask the character to do? How does the character feel now? What were the repercussions? Are the details of this event on record? Were you right?
You could be Riker. Remember when Riker, the opposite of Riker, because Riker was on a ship that mutinied, because of the secret cloak technology that they weren't supposed to use.
Yeah.
And Riker defended his captain, and everyone died except for him and his captain. You could be like the opposite. You could be like the surviving... The Pegasus, yeah.
Yeah, the Pegasus. It actually works really funny because you know what I picked as my second value just off the top? It's my ship, Captain.
This is my ship, Captain.
Well,
So that works well.
Okay.
So ship destroyed by Nero.
You're just the guy with the comfy chair.
Yeah, I'm the one who actually does something around
Apparently, The
here.
Rock was on an episode of Voyager.
He was.
He was shoehorned as a wrestler.
Yup.
A
And
space gladiator.
A space gladiator, yeah.
and when he comes into the scene, he just looks at the camera and
Yeah.
like it goes all the way up.
Oh,
And
and
it's
that man
like-
has crazy eyebrow.
Oh yes, this is happening.
They should have like CG'd it to make it like super unnatural.
It doesn't
Yeah.
need to be
So,
CGI. It's
Mike.
just like that.
You are going to increase your reason by 1.
Okay.
You learn to evaluate situations on your own rather than mindlessly trusting others. And
a name
the legal
for
proceedings that followed
Stick within
gave you a
the
greater sense of
primary
insight.
directive,
You
like,
increase
when
your
they don't know
con
about
by
space
1.
travel and stuff. Do they call
My
that
con
as,
is
like,
now
a
maxed.
designation?
Okay, that's fine. If it goes above that, we'll just skim it.
Okay.
Like ones that you shouldn't
Your
be going
focus.
to.
You gain a
Messing
focus
up.
reflecting the
Yeah.
event and its aftermath. Uniform code of conduct of justice, history,
I don't think
Starfleet
there's an actual
protocol.
name for
Okay.
it.
Is that on
They
top
have,
of the
like,
focus that I already took for this one?
A
This,
Okay.
this is a second level.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. And David, what do you want to do?
S-
You want to roll one? Oh, sorry.
What branch does that the second focus come out of?
The second focus just follows this event.
Oh, okay.
So the focus is just the one you make up. It's not the talent.
Okay.
Let's roll and let's see if I like it.
All right. Roll a 20.
7.
Serious injury. Life is short.
Prosthetics.
That's why your ears aren't the same color. Blown up. Save yourself some painting time.
My ears got blown off by the
Yes.
Borg, and now I have prosthetics.
What does this? Like mechanics do? Attributes. Increasing their fitness by 1.
Oh, gambling! It's definitely going to be it.
So how many of these do I roll? Just one?
You do 2.
Oh, okay. Let's see what the other one is. 13.
So 13 is called out a superior.
I don't feel
Or
like...
betrayed ideals for a superior is the one beneath it.
Okay.
So betrayed ideals for a superior. You were put in a situation, basically the Riker situation,
Right.
and that makes you more presency and increases your command.
Okay, let me think on this.
Yeah, please.
Call that a superior? Yup.
That doesn't feel like my character would do that.
You could take mentored as well.
Yeah, I was looking at mentored.
Do it. And if anybody doesn't like one of theirs, we can always change it. But I think it's pretty fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't really feeling the like alien language thing, but it kind of actually works really well in there. So
Right? Like, it's a fun engine, and it's Modiphius, their Conan engine as well, really does randomize backstory well. I ended up as a Jedi, like in one of them. I was just like, cool, I'm a farm boy with min-max stats and an ancient bloodline, and I have sorcery now? What the hell? I'm
Okay.
Luke Skywalker.
Basically,
I'm like Conan the Skywalker.
Conan Walker.
What is good in life? Having the high ground.
Ain't that the truth?
It's true. The moral high ground is the best. All right, so David, I'm going to keep going for everybody's final step.
Yep.
Okay, so final step is actually the easiest one, and it is because your characters are basically done, and what we're going to do is life path creation. Okay, finishing touches. Gain 1 value of your choice. Any value you think. At the point you enter play, your character believes a new value. If you're coming up with... if you're having trouble coming up with them, they have some examples on page 131, which, I mean, they're pretty quick, but... so your value should be... the basic concept you have for the character at this point. So, yeah. Do you have any ideas for your character? Like what is the touchstone of your character? So, like Mike, your character could be like tired of war. So you could pick a value that's contradictory, or you could be adjusting to civilian life, or Mike, yours could be, I don't know, like what's the, so you're a pilot, you're arrogant, and what's a value that works with you the moment the show starts rolling?
If I pick mentored, can I be mentored by like a canon character?
I don't care.
Yeah.
Huh? I mean, like, if it's Spock, it's not quite as in-depth of a mentorship, because dude's busy. But, like, he could have easily, like, been, like, your supervisor at Starfleet Academy or something like that. And you
Right.
like, you knew him, you had coffee with him on a number of occasions, or, like, space coffee. Star
It's mentored by Q.
Oh, Lord.
You know what? Just rip your character sheet up. You can still play him, but you don't need a sheet anymore.
Because now everything is just there.
For Sam, JP, Kirk, yes, we're not quite done them yet, so we will definitely summarize our characters at the
It's
end
gonna
when
be
they're
rad.
all created.
Hey, Sam, how's it going? Okay, so values are they're short phrases or statements that define your attitudes, beliefs, and convictions. Okay, so these are covered fully in Chapter 5, Reporting for Duty. Here they are.
So how many should we have at this point?
So your total values, I believe you have 3 by the end of character creation. So you have a value from
I think we're at 3 right now.
Yeah, because
I think
I'm
this
so
is-
1 from your environment. You have 1 from your time in Starfleet. Oh, no, you have 4 total.
Okay.
So
Okay, so this will be the 4th.
this will be your 4th and final value. So think of one that works for your character, and what we'll do is we'll read them all out around the table and talk about our characters, and then if anything needs to be tweaked by the group, or if you're unsure of something, like put a placeholder down. Like, you know, loves butts. And you're like, and that, yes, because you always question. But.
Yeah.
And you cannot lie. That's another value. You like big butts, but what if? Is there another?
Bottom comment.
Oh God.
What is it?
Captain who? Chica?
Captain Kirk. To tie in with the hedonism interests.
Well, it depends how old you are. Really.
Yeah, they said, David, perhaps everything you learned about xenobiology you learned from Captain Kirk.
Perhaps I
I
can.
have so many xenoviruses.
That's why you became
That's
a
like your
specialty.
specialty.
Oh,
I've got space crabs.
Every time you see me, I just
Space
have a different
herpes.
like facial spot. I'm just like, don't look
But
at
not a
that.
facial Spock.
No.
It's a little tiny miniature Spock on my face.
Okay.
Gives advice.
Yeah.
So, finishing touches. Besides your value, I'm going to go down the list now. So, Krista, you're a special exception because you can have no attribute above 11. At character
That's okay.
creation.
Yep, got it.
Okay, and you're maxed at 4 in your disciplines, so that means that you're pretty spread out.
Okay.
So at this point, everyone raise attributes by +1 to 2 different ones.
This is from.
This is your final stage.
So you get 2 points essentially.
2 points that cannot go into the same one. And don't worry, we're going to do the spillover in a second.
Cool.
Next, do the same thing to 2 disciplines, 2 different disciplines, +1, +1.
Cool.
Okay, and then does anybody have anything above 5 in their disciplines?
You started with 1, right?
Yes.
I have 1 at 5, but nothing above.
Okay. You have anything above 5? Okay. Does anybody have an attribute above 12? Okay. Or 11 in your case. Okay. Any attribute rating that is above and beyond this limit, reduce it until it's within the limit. You can it just spends somewhere else. Okay. Final details then. Once this has been done, normal ones apply. Final check. Okay. Your attributes added together should total up to 56. Like all the attributes when added together should be 56 points. Use your phones. You should have 16 disciplines.
Sorry, 50.
56. 56 attribute points.
And
So plus
Yes.
so 7 times 6.
Yeah, so you start off with 42, and then you added 14 throughout this procedure.
I did it correctly. I got
Hey,
56.
yeah.
Oh my god! And 16 disciplines.
16, you said?
Yeah. Okay. Then you should have 4 values, 4 talents, and 6 focuses total.
I only have 3. Oh no, that's one. Right, yeah.
So we'll write this all down and we'll double check at the after this. Okay.
4 focus, 4 talent, 4 what? 4
Uh,
values.
4 values, 4 talents, 6 focuses.
Yep.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
Okay, now we're going to pick out, so your stress is equal to your fitness plus security. So that's basically your hit points. Your damage bonus, and Michael's going to freak out about this, on all attacks is equal to your security discipline.
Well, that's a problem.
No, it's not.
Well, no, because I also took mean right hook, which gives me +1 on top of that. So seriously, that's 1 mean right hook.
Yeah, so
That
basically
is
you're the
wrong.
guy that I have to like knock down a peg if I want to show that someone's tough.
Yeah.
How's it going, Human Wharf? All right, so then we're going to go through some personal details right now. So I'm going to list out some, so human names are pretty easy. Was your family at all Denebulan? Do you have any blood in there?
No.
Because like Denebulans like marry all sorts of races and stuff. You could have had a step parent who was a
Oh,
Denebulan.
sure. Let's do that.
So if you have their so they only have a single name. An individual Denebulan may be part of an overlapping family. Some may use the name of one of their spouses as an impromptu surname. However, this is often to indicate association to species that may not understand Denebulan families. Denebulan names tend to be short, hard-sounding, particularly male names. So male or female?
Female.
Cool. Anari, Andorra, Asha, Defina, Fizal, Forliza, Kessel, Liera, Lucis, Miral, Natala, Ninsen, Henna, Sabra, Seka, Saime, that's a weird one, Travis, Vicena. So these are some of the ideas
Okay.
they have there.
So like Aelin or something like that would probably work.
Yeah,
Okay.
works for me. Trill. Names consist of a personal name and a family name. And in the case of a join name, it's different. So male names, I'm sure you have a generator on your phone right now.
I do.
Arjun, Bejel, Curzon, Hanor, Joran, Malco. You're going to be Malco, I can already tell. Selen, Timor, Tobin, Torias. And then family names are like Nidan, Sozin. Oh, I was a Sozin. When I was playing this, I was Sozin Kyle.
I think I'm gonna be Jasmine Pyax.
All right. And then Vulcans usually only have a single name. David, did you have a name idea?
I'll come up with one soon.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, personality. So personalities, we got you're kind of chipper and young.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds great. Mike, what's your kind of personality? Like, what if you? So actually, let's do this then. Cast your character. Who, if you could pick an actress
Oh
to
my
kind of embody this.
goodness.
Think about this for a minute.
Okay, I would think about that.
So like, is
I'm
it?
so bad at this.
Just how about There's so many good options.
I know.
All right, so you think about this for a second.
will, yeah.
Michael, do you have anybody in mind that you think that if you could cast this, dreamcast this?
Probably Bruce Willis, but before he started making all the bad Die Hards.
So like Hudson Hawk, Bruce Willis.
Probably just after that.
I don't know. He's awesome in red.
So like, how much hair does he have? 'Cause that's basically.
He probably reached the point where he's starting to go bald. And
Okay, so
he's
Die Hard
showing it.
Die Hard 2 or Die Hard with a Vengeance, bald.
Yeah, probably just after with a Vengeance.
Okay.
So.
All right, so Bruce Willis, Die Hard with a Vengeance. That's really good. And is that kind of the personality you're thinking?
Oh yeah.
All right, so you're John McClane. That's great.
Yeah.
Mike, what do you think? Are you thinking like Tom Cruise in Top Gun? Or are you thinking
I'm thinking...
Matt Damon in Titan AE?
No. I'm thinking, think a mixture of Angelina Jolie and Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, you're playing a woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Young Sigourney Weaver. Like,
Okay.
alien.
Like badass.
Like hardcore. And, like, Mrs. Smith Angelina Jolie.
You know
Okay.
this isn't Starfinder, right?
Yes, I
Just
do.
checking. Okay.
All right, so don't play. I almost said Lola. Don't play Riot again.
I'm not going to play her. Not in this one, anyways.
There'll be more time for that.
Yeah.
Like I'll just run a space game where we'll port the character over.
Yeah, or I was thinking, like, you know, even like fancy D&D, you know, and just have a
Make her a pirate.
halfling rogue.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, well, I mean, the concept is inherently similar. You know, cocky, you know, pilot, cool. Not the same. Not going to be the same personality.
Okay. I like Sigourney Weaver because there's a lot of like quiet confidence there.
Yeah.
Because Sigourney Weaver's a badass.
Yeah, like she knows what's up, and she knows what you know.
Well, Christine had never seen Alien or Aliens, and so like I sat her down a few months ago, and because she doesn't really watch movies, which for me is a problem. Right? It's kind of my entire existence is based in movies. So I've been slowly working her into the classics, and it's amazing because she doesn't like movies that are awkward or have like awkward humor. So she tenses up and is like, she can't watch them. But I'm like, dude, like you haven't watched like Rambo or Commando or any of like the Schwarzenegger movies that aren't awkward as hell. Like, what are you even doing? Like half the Blu-rays right there are Schwarzenegger.
Watch Escape Room. Or not Escape Room, Escape Plan.
Is it any good? I watched the first like 20 minutes of it and was like, eh.
Schwarzenegger's acting makes me cry.
Like
He's so good.
Have you seen Maggie?
No, I haven't seen it.
I watched the first half hour and I'm like, this is too dark.
Apparently it's weird, yeah. Like super dark and super weird.
And
Christopher watched it.
it's hard watching him be that sad.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I was basically raised by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like,
No, sorry, I'm thinking of that one with Nicolas Cage recently. What's that one called? It's not Maggie. It's another
Maggie.
Is
Or no, Mandy.
Mandy, that's the
Mandy
one.
is incredible.
That's what I've heard, yeah. No, I haven't watched Maggie yet. But no, Escape Plan is Schwarzenegger and
Stallone.
Stallone.
And they made a sequel.
But there is a part where Schwarzenegger acts or he speaks whatever.
Without an accent?
No, he speaks whatever his native language is.
Yeah, German. Oh, well, Austrian.
Yeah. So he speaks that, and it's like, oh, that's all it is. You just have a rough time with English. You're an amazing actor. Like,
He's had
it's
acting
so
lessons for
weird.
decades.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Apparently, he
He's
also doesn't
phenomenal.
have nearly as much of an accent in person.
So he puts it on.
Yeah, he puts it on because it's part of the act, right? Because people
True.
people want to see him. That's his, because he's all about brand.
Yes.
And like, I mean, the dude was a millionaire before he ever acted.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh,
he was a brand, yeah.
well, because he realized that people kept writing him letters about bodybuilding, like, oh, how do I do this? And he's like, you know, I shouldn't give this away for free. I should be like, oh, send me $20 and I'll give you like a little pamphlet that explains how I work out.
Yeah.
And like, when you're Mr. Olympus, like people,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now he has his own competitions all over the world. So.
oh my god, they had the Arnold Classic recently had the Wheel of Pain as an event. They built the Wheel of Pain from Conan. And it's like, you're watching these world-class strongmen try to push this, and they're crying because it's so much effort. It's the Wheel of Pain. I need you to picture like a giant wheel, like 8 spokes, except the spokes are this big around. It's turning a giant mill.
Cry.
and you have to use your entire body to make this thing move by yourself. And it's these men who are like, you don't watch Game of Thrones, but like these hulks, like incredible Hulk-sized men pushing this and like crawling on their hands and knees like babies and just hitting it with their shoulder blades to get it to, oh my god, it's intense. Anyway, Star Trek.
Back to Star. Yeah.
Maximum. Sorry.
I figured out who.
Maximum score is 12, right?
Yes.
For veteran.
Yes.
But yeah, I was thinking originally like, I could go with like a Tom Cruise Top Gun thing, but then I'm like, that's getting a bit close to the last character that I made for Starfinder and that attitude, and I'm like, I don't really want to go that route this time because Raya was a little over the top.
She was a little nuts. And Star Trek is like I've sworn a bit, but I'm gonna actually like after this character creation, I'm gonna try not to use like any foul language at all.
Because it's Star Trek.
It's not. Well, it's like when I run Star Wars, and I'm like, don't drop the F-bombs in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Just don't. Like you can say damn maybe.
Yeah.
But like that's about it. Like if John Wayne would say,
if you're really trying to get in them, you might say bitch. Maybe.
Not in Star Wars.
Not in Star Wars.
Well, like what about extended lore?
Extended lore doesn't exist.
Well, yeah,
that's right.
Still, like in Star Trek, at least, you know, like if you really want to get,
you might be able to. If you're bad,
I can see Riker say "son of a bitch."
Yeah. In fact, I think he does.
Yeah, because Riker's awesome.
Riker's awesome, but it never really gets more than that.
Riker ages like a fine wine. The older I get, the better Riker gets. And I keep thinking that he's going to be like this womanizing asshole. And I go back and I'm like, no, he's actually just really smooth.
Yeah. Like he is so slick. He's so good.
Like, I kind of just want to have, like, a Night at the Roxbury episode with he and Kirk going out on the town.
Because they're both just so smooth.
Yeah.
It's a competition, then, is it? I believe it is. Denny Crane.
Yeah, like it's great.
So, which actors?
Deborah Ann Woll.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Who, Deborah Ann Woll.
She's amazing.
And she runs her own
D&D.
Yeah, Relics and Rarities, so a little bit of R&R.
Yeah. But no, like, just kind of like if you blend Karen Page with her character from True Blood.
Yeah.
So it, like, at first, so, like, kind of that young, naive innocence, but, like, can handle her shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, let's figure out. So, each role comes with a distinct benefit in game. So, we're going to look at your rank and role.
Ooh.
So, commanding officer. Command department only. The captain. Even if the commanding officer does not hold the rank of captain, they will be referred to as captain by their subordinates. Every ship must have a commanding officer. Okay, so we got one of those. Executive officer is command department only second in command, according to this. But, you know what? This is a science vessel, so I don't care. We can bend that rule. The executive officer is the captain's chief advisor and makes, Riker or Spock. If the ship does not have a detailed or a dedicated executive officer, an officer in another role should be noted as second in command. So I guess, okay, cool. So the bonus there is that when they spend a point of determination, they may spend 3 points of immediate momentum to regenerate that. Holy crap. Oh, when another character in communication with the executive officer spends determination, the executive officer can spend 3 momentum to say, no, you didn't spend that. Keep it. This effect still happens. The commanding officer can spend a point of determination to give anyone a point of determination. So basically can loan their determination out, which is great. Yeah. So that's what the captain will be able to do when we develop them. Operations manager, engineering department. The operations manager manages and oversees all technical operations aboard the ship. I'm just going to read these out and raise your hand if this is you. Chief engineer. Chief of security. Bing. Security department only. The chief of security oversees the security, blah, blah, blah. On many ships, the chief of security operates from tactical station on the bridge. When aboard the ship, you always have the advantage security detachment, which represents security personnel. So that's pretty rad. Chief medical officer, science officer, flight controller. I believe that's you.
Would that be me? Flight controller?
Yeah.
So
that's your senior helmsman. So the flight controller. The flight controller is required to analyze or repair technology related to flight or compulsion. They may use con instead of engineering. That's pretty great. That's like using firearms to fix guns.
I'll just shoot this thing to make it better.
You know what? It just works.
guns and guns.
This
and guns.
one phaser isn't working. Let me use this other phaser as a blowtorch.
All right. So communications officer,
Possibly.
ship's counselor as well. So do any of those sound good for you? Those are the roles.
Probably. Well, counselor, honestly, because she does have like a pretty high medical background and stuff like that.
So did you, after you had your incident in where you had to take control, did you just leave and go to medical? What color are you wearing? Are you blue or are you red?
That's what I'm wondering.
So the difference there, so counselor, so basically dedicated to mental soak. After succeeding at a task to determine the emotional state or intent of another living creature, you gain bonus momentum, which can be spent on the obtain information momentum spend.
Okay.
Communications officer, more common in the early, so the Uhura.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're all about languages and decryptions.
Okay.
So there's also chief medical officer, science officers, chief engineers, and I mean, if you wanted to, you could push to be executive officer, be number 2,
I kind of feel like.
which would be a giant promotion.
Yeah. Well,
Do you want to be the rising star? Because that means you can get in trouble more often than not.
The number one.
And then you have something to prove, which if you don't have your final
yeah.
final value.
Or the opposite, where like she doesn't feel she has anything to prove. She's just here to be with people, and like this is where she was put, so like this is where she belongs, and it's other people that like come after her, and then she's just like the nicest person, and they're like, okay, fine. I like you.
but think about this. Like, how would she react to being put in second command of a brand new starship?
She'd probably say no. Like, she would probably say, what are you talking about? Like, no, that's absolutely insane. Like, I'm just out of academy.
Perhaps
like,
a little insanity is what Starfleet needs.
Exactly. So, and like, she would accept it because she's going to do what she's supposed to do.
Liz. Can I call you Liz? A man with a very sharp beard says across the table. I've been monitoring your progress for quite a while. I think you should seriously consider this. The captain requested you by name. I don't know why they did it, but there's something in your background that they see. There's a junior position aboard the USS Nova that could also be suitable. It's performing basic science work.
Can I get back to you tomorrow?
The ship leaves at 0900.
Come out to the coast, have a few laughs.
Do you want to think of?
She would call her mom.
Okay. Do you want to go with this?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So
if you guys are cool with that.
Sure.
Does anybody mind?
I do not mind.
Sure.
Well, what did you want to be? Because I didn't.
If you want to be executive officer.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything from you. So, so chief medical, science, counselor, engineer.
Science, maybe?
Like, or do you want to go for like which is your sciences?
Yeah, I was thinking about going second in command science.
Okay. So, are there additional roles in command?
There is a trait, a talent rather, that you can take that allows you to take 2 roles.
Oh, really?
Yes. Which I was kind of thinking.
I think I need to also look at the talents because I haven't picked
called?
any of them yet.
Multitask or something.
Really?
I think it's in one of the books.
Yeah, multitask is in this one. It's under command.
Okay.
Whatever that is.
Oh, is this also talents?
Yeah, that's the ones from the core book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a little bit in there.
What page is the talents on?
They are right at the end. And if not there, it's in the smaller one for sure. So, hand me the small one, if there is a spare.
This one?
Yeah, or that one. So here you go. There's the short list, and then here's the command list from the additional ones.
The additional roles.
The additional command talents.
Okay, talents.
So I'm just seeing if there is another. Well, it says here that you can be a doctor if you want, though. So even if you are in command.
Oh, apparently our sound is out?
Uh,
Is there anybody else that's not experiencing sound?
test.
Hello?
No, we're still recording.
Christopher just said there's no sound.
Here, hold on. I'll pull that up on my phone real quick.
Because everyone's reading.
Yeah, it could just be that we were really...
Oh no, yeah, I've got sound.
Cool. Just try hitting refresh. Twitch does that sometimes because Twitch is great. Actually, Twitch is pretty great.
We are also reading a lot, so
Yeah. Sorry, we're super... I was actually going to do... When I was going to do Let's Plays a while ago, I was going to have an April Fool's Day a Let's Read. And it was just going to be me, like, going, for like 4 hours.
I did a
Matt Mercer
readathon.
did that.
Did he?
Oh no, he didn't read. He sat there and just looked at the camera with a Stein. For,
That's
Oh,
what, what's
yeah.
his name
for
did.
Overwatch.
Nick Offerman.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that for 4 hours.
If you were getting paid enough, you could.
That's a good point.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I kind of do that at work now with the computer. I just stare into the computer and tap the keyboard every now and then. And tell someone to get back to work.
All right, so can someone do a quick lookup of ship roles that are not listed here? Krista, I'm going to say that if you want to be a doctor or a science officer, you can. Like, you can do whatever you want. It's a game. David, you need to see the other traits.
No, I've got it right here.
Do you? Okay.
For the talents, right?
What is the executive offer? What does it give you?
That
It gives you the ability to spend momentum to give people back determination.
Which is cool.
It is pretty cool. So this is also going to be important because you need to figure out what colors you're wearing, guys. Like, do you want to stay in command, or would you? Yeah. Do you want to be executive?
She's gonna be. I'm still going back to Discovery. So she probably like is like command. That's what she's like. That's her role. That's what she does. That's what she graduated with. All that kind of stuff. But she's still like as a kid, her father ran a veterinary hospital, and so she got really interested in like surgery and things like that. And then it's something she's always like sort of studied on the side.
Okay.
She's like audited trauma surgery classes and all that. I actually took a focus in trauma surgery.
Okay.
So
Oh, really?
it's probably something that like she knows really well, but like it's not her role. So
Did you take the trait that allows you to be in both, like 2 different fields?
I don't think so.
Okay. You were talking about the talent that allowed you to do that.
So the talent is like you actually can take another role, like you
okay.
actually get the ability. Because I think you can kind of like from what I've seen is you can kind of do whatever. Because like
Yeah.
the
They're really restrictive, and then they're not. It's kind of odd.
yeah, the focuses said like you can really kind of take it from wherever, and she's got really high medicine. So I was kind of thinking that like that's her role, but she has this like interest in things like that. And if they're ever like doing surgery on the ship, she has to like go watch and like observe and things like that
Okay.
to keep learning. I did take quick study as one of my talents.
Okay.
So
So, David, you're doing a push for executive officer, right? You want to be number 2.
I'll let Chris, you can decide first.
Well, no, I want you both to decide together.
Yeah, would you like to be executive officer?
Or what, if you're not executive officer, what would you be, right? And
Yeah.
if you're not executive officer, what would you be?
Yeah.
So, and the rest of the crew, because this is a group thing, so it's pretty obvious you're going to be security chief, Michael. And it's pretty obvious you're going to be the pilot.
Yeah.
No, I have to be chief medical officer so I can be Doogie Howser.
What are your skill focuses looking like? What's your medicine at 4?
Medicine's at 4. My focuses are diplomacy, trauma surgery, and cultural studies, but I can change one of those.
So here's the deal. If you're not executive officer and you are in medicine, then there's going to be something... What's your medicine at 4?
My medicine 2.
Okay. Then the fact that you are the chief of medicine and are a command
Graduate?
is weird. Basically, that's going to be like the person who was meant to do this got sick, or the person who was meant to do this quit
Yeah.
due to a conflict. So guess what? You're being promoted into this role when you were supposed to be on board as like an ensign.
Transporter accident.
Exactly.
Or racists against whoever the captain is.
That's true. Mr. or sexist.
Yeah.
I won't work under a man. You're in the wrong universe then.
Yeah.
It's a man's world. All of them. Especially the Ferengi.
Yeah.
Especially the Ferengi.
Especially the first.
That's the one thing I secretly love about Discovery is they like when there's a big serious thing that happens, it like shoots and shows the faces of like the whole like main crew, and you're like, there are 2 men on this. And secretly I'm like, but of course they're
Now
both the,
imagine
head
like
guys.
Starship Discovery is like those animes where something happens and then it's like the split screen of all the characters like
The
split screen.
That's basically
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
They
All right, so
split
we're gonna do some positions right now. Then, okay, so you're gonna be XO.
Number 1, eh?
Number 2.
XO is number 1.
Oh, is X number 1? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well,
CO is
number 1 behind the captain.
Yeah, CO is captain. XO is
Yep.
second in command. Number
Okay, so here's the deal. We're gonna do ensign, lowest rank available to any officer. Lieutenant, junior grade, highest rank that can be taken by a character with untapped potential. So you're a lieutenant, you're a junior lieutenant.
Okay.
Okay. Lieutenant, basic rank for anybody who's inexperienced. Lieutenant commander, lowest rank that can be taken by someone with veteran. So you two are either lieutenants or lieutenant commanders.
Okay.
So probably lieutenant commander, given backstory. Veteran, so you're either a lieutenant commander or a commander. Because you're not going to be, I don't think a captain.
No, I'll just do commander.
So it's like Commander Riker, yeah. Okay.
Do the ranks do stuff?
No.
Okay.
They're just basically, yeah, so these are the officer ranks. There are enlisted ranks as well. But yeah.
I kind of get the feeling my character might have been like up to commander level during wartime, but he's got busted back down.
Well, I mean, you could be an enlisted personnel member too. So that could have had you be like master chief. So they go through different training, have been trained for specific duties, outranked by even the lead, but then you're outranked by all the ensigns. So let's not do that.
Yeah.
So that you had a field promotion to commander at one point.
Yeah, but then got busted back down because it's like, hey, we're not in war anymore. You don't get to keep.
All right,
Yeah, I think I'll just be an LT.
LT. That sounds good. You can always get promoted too. This game actually like has a lot of things for promotions, and then equipment. I'm gonna say is not super relevant.
Okay, we can do equipment later then, I guess.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So then for sound.
Yeah, I was just saying, apparently Christopher had said something. Anyway, it's all good. Continue.
All right.
So how far should I be busted back down? Lieutenant or lieutenant commander?
I don't think you're gonna bust you down terribly low.
Just lieutenant commander, I kind of think. Because, I mean, he's so up there in the security.
Yeah,
Like-
I think lieutenant commander.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's build a captain.
Woohoo!
Men, are they even or odd?
Or indifferent.
Is badge or no badge? Oh, you're
no.
using D20, I see.
Who's in
I was going to say roll the 6-sided, and then you have, like, the stars or the blank or the...
Well, there's 3 different options on this.
Yeah.
All right.
Because
Is there
they
3
have-
badges?
It could be
Neither.
neutral.
I mean, it's true.
Is there 3 badges or 2?
We didn't decide what was what.
We didn't decide.
Yeah, we didn't decide.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, well, okay. Do we want? We just pick. Do we want a male or female captain?
I vote female.
I'll second it.
Female?
All right, that's 3 out on the table. So I will drew the little Venus sign.
The wise have it.
Agree when women are in the majority. It's just the better survival technique. Okay, so let's. Who wants to roll the first D20?
I will.
All right, let me just find the damn table. All right, roll a D20.
It's a 5.
Mm,
You want me to roll it again?
I'm gonna double check. So that would be the captain is a betazoid.
That could be interesting.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
But at the same time,
Deanna Troy needs to, because when she was doing the con panel, she was like, "I only got to fly the Enterprise once, and what happens?" And it was in Generations where she flies the Enterprise and then it crashes right after.
Yeah.
So we want to go betazoid?
I'm okay with that.
Full or half?
half.
Why don't we roll for it?
Okay.
Yeah. Odds half.
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 And then human, obviously, because Betazoid Klingon would not be.
Oh god, that would be horrible.
Okay, so then...
I'm reading aggression all the time.
Oh wait, it's my own.
All right, someone roll a 6-sided dice.
I love this captain.
Do you want to do it?
There's one here. 2.
Okay, busy colony. I'm not going to worry about traits so much and more as character.
That's fair.
Roll a d6, somebody. Upbringing.
2.
Business or trade?
Whenever you assist someone who's using your command discipline. Oh, okay.
Then we're going to go to, obviously, command track. Career. Experienced officer or veteran officer?
Let's go veteran officer.
Let's
I think.
roll a d20, and if it's above a 10, that's only a 7. How experienced is that, you think? That's promising career. Actually, you know what? There's an easy way. Who's got the list of existing characters from Next Gen?
Oh,
Look at Riker and look at Picard and see, is Picard listed as veteran?
Picard's veteran.
Riker is on the back, I believe.
Yeah, he's right there.
Riker's right here. Where does it say?
Well, same place it would say veteran on Picard.
Oh, I just see veteran in the talents for Picard.
If it's not under his talents, then he's not a veteran. So is she a veteran?
I like the idea.
I think either veteran or...
Well, it's a newer ship. You kind of think that they wouldn't really just throw like.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially
Okay.
if it's like a prototype of it, they want
Yeah.
someone.
Okay, then can I get 2 people to roll d20s for her career events?
3, 2. Wait. Oh, you're rolling.
Go.
That's a 1 and a 17.
Ship destroyed
Oh god, was she on the same ship as me?
and special commendation.
For the ship being destroyed.
Little do they know, she was the one that accidentally pushed the wrong button.
Little did she know that she did an Admiral Holdo warp jump into someone's.
Oh no.
Oh god, was she on the same ship that was destroyed when I was, and I was the one who talked back to her? Are we gonna have?
Are we just making
I don't
Deanna because
I don't think we got
she's
that much drama out of the gate.
flying the
Good
ship
point.
That's true. That's
And she
true.
crashed.
she crashed?
I think we should have a new character. But then again, okay. So Betazoid. Let's come up with a name. So family name: Grax, no. Hagen, no. Morganath, Captain. So you know what? I'm just gonna do this. Okay, ready? Captain Conan, Captain Ibison, Captain Dulas, Captain Nostrin, Captain Cater, Captain.
I like Nostrin.
You like not really? Captain Neelan, Captain Udutan, Captain Stadi, Captain Hagen. Are there any others from? Can someone go to a Betazoid family name generator?
Yeah, I'm on it.
Okay.
Cool. And then, so Deanna. Ooh, look, surprise. I like Captain Conan, and I like Captain Cater.
Can we just name her Captain Morgan?
Captain Morgana. Okay. So I'm thinking it should probably be a 2-beat. Because it's like what? We got Kirk, we got Picard, we've Sulu. I'm trying to think of other people who've captained.
Razol, Vodek, Bolbrick,
Ballbreak,
Nakat,
Naked. Okay, hold on. I'm going to look up Betazoid too.
Ahibi, Ibrod, Zoirex, Zomex, Soidal.
Are you on fantasynamegenerators.com?
Yes.
God, it is what it is.
It is what
it's
it
a,
is.
you know, hit or miss.
It's a good jumping off point.
Sometimes they can be really good, sometimes really not.
Yeah.
Acerol.
Captain Asshole Roll.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, Star Trek Online name generator from the Star Trek Academy Online.
Is it bad that every name that you guys are throwing out there, I'm thinking of the worst thing to call them? Like, you just do
It's
it?
like naming a kid, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Itachi.
Hitachi.
Hitachi, oh no.
Right. Ida Strek.
You
Uh,
don't
More
know.
like Ida.
So Captain Dozer, Captain Gedima,
Bulldozer.
Yeah, well, there is no Zool. Captain Havar, Captain Sycax, Captain Hallex. Oh, wait! I'm so dumb.
What?
Pick an actress. What should she look like? Right?
Current Sigourney Weaver.
Well, because we just point blank said that she's half Betazoid, which means so Captain Sawyer, Captain Evans, Captain Mikos, Captain Keller, Captain Graham, Captain Lovelace, Captain Lawson, Rhodes, Lockhart. Not Lockhart.
Lovelace is so piratey.
I love Loveless.
Lovelace?
Yeah.
Rachel McAdams player.
Yeah,
Do we have like a personality for her yet?
No, we don't.
I really like
I'm gonna
Loveless.
throw an idea out there. What if she's like, because you would imagine that Betazoids are very, like Deanna Troi, they're very feeling, they're very like understanding. But what if it's a Betazoid that's just such a hard ass, and she just reads you? She's like, you did a shitty job today, and she feels like you're being weak, like you're like holy shit, and you have a moment of weakness, and she like pounces on that to push you higher, but she does it in like a
In a Betazoid way.
So she's a manipulator?
yeah, but
She's
like,
a Machiavellian?
she's a manipulating in a positive way. She wants to bring her crew up, but she does it in a hard ass way, and she uses her empathy. Not was it
to sense what you need to hear to do better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it was something like, hold on, hailing frequencies on screen.
Yeah.
Oh, and then like if she's in negotiation time,
This is Captain Isala Lovelace of the USS Curiosity.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that a lot.
All right, Isala Lovelace, kind of a bitch.
Sounds like she didn't get her coffee that morning.
But a good bitch.
That's always how she sounds.
Coffee, black, like I like my Deep Space Nine captains.
Ooh, straight up espressos.
Straight up espresso.
Just straight. She did the replicator just poured it straight in her mouth.
Yeah.
Just grabs the pot. I like my starship. I like my starship. I like my Federation like I like my men. No Ferengis.
Sitting there by
Just a
herself,
touch
just
of racism.
drinking
The
the
Ferengi, they don't
worst
count. They don't count.
Values hated by Ferengis.
Can you imagine just like she's in negotiations with like on the comm screen with someone who's hostile, and she's just like, I sense your weakness.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a
that's good.
reputation system as well, but
I think we just built our reputation.
Oh,
actually, you know what?
have you guys seen Avatar: The Legend of
Oh,
Korra?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think she should have like that scar like from lip to eye. 'Cause
I mean, her ship was destroyed.
Yeah.
or like she pissed off. She's always had this hard ass attitude since she was young, and she did that to the wrong person. She's got this gnarly scar
Yeah.
from lip to eye.
It really goes
I like
against the beta Zoid kind of
Yeah,
thing.
well-
It's like empathy. It's like, you got a horrible facial scar. I can't even make eye contact.
Yeah.
Maybe not super. Let's Hollywood this. So definitely we've got the lip scar.
Well, it's not horrible if it's a lip to eye. Just like a little...
She's
You
Well, like-
notice
or
it.
like
It's
one
healing
night-
well.
yeah.
but it's
Or one
there.
like right here, or something.
Yeah.
yeah.
I like a really
there-
hard ass Betazoid.
There's like a break in the eyebrow, and like it's mostly.
Oh, the Jason
healed,
Momoa
but-
scar?
Yes,
She's
exactly.
Can we just
Someone-
change this and make it Jason Momoa?
Or
a very feeling Jason Momoa.
Dude, have you
That's
seen
true.
him talk about how Daenerys's
Oh,
Amelia
yeah.
Clark almost died
Yeah.
during production? And he's
Yeah.
like, we almost lost her. And he's like getting rid because he's like freaking loves that girl.
So I actually know someone who's worked with him, and he said that he is very nice, very funny, but dumb as a brick.
Yeah.
Like,
Really?
so it was on Stargate.
Yeah.
And he refused to use any ear protection while shooting off a fake gun, which sounds like a real gun because it's blanks.
Yeah, science.
in an all-metal warehouse.
Oh,
And he's like, no, I'm good. I'm fine. And so
he-
he shoots it off and, like, has permanent ear damage now.
It's because he's tough.
Also, I think
No,
it's more like
he shot
toxic
it with, like-
masculinity rather than like dumbness.
No, he's apparently
Really?
just dumb.
Oh.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with that. He was like, no, guys, I'm totally fine. It's totally okay. And it's just stuff like that.
Well,
all
what's
the
really
time.
weird is, you know, how tall do you think he is?
He's like 6'10" or something stupid like that.
You know who's taller than him?
Really? How
Yep.
tall is he?
He's like 6. Like I saw him at a
Wait, how
convention.
tall are you?
Like 6'1". Like
He just
he's
stands
about
around very
my.
tiny people.
Do you know like how tall Tom Cruise is?
Well, he's like
Yeah.
5'7".
Tom Cruise is like
Okay,
5'4".
have you ever done photography on anybody, like any, especially guys who are smaller than 5'6"? They
Yes.
look so jacked on camera because they're proportional.
But I mean, it's more like
Like double check me, but I saw him at Fan Expo and I was really surprised because he's about my height. And I was like, this is weird. I expected him to be like 6'10", 6'5", 6'4", but like he looked about my height.
Good question. Are there any
No,
talents? Are there any talents that is Bardy?
Like bardic inspiration.
Yeah.
he is 6'3".
He doesn't look it.
He's also one of those dudes that stands like this, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Like he hunches.
Uh,
I have a picture of him with Taryn, and Taryn comes up to maybe his ribcage.
yes, but Taryn is like
Taryn, but that's what I mean.
Taryn's a tiny one.
But like Taryn comes up to almost my shoulder. Like she comes up to my shoulder.
Collaboration is a good one. So you pick a discipline, and when an ally attempts a task using that, you may spend 1 momentum to allow them to use your score and one of your focuses. So do you have anything that's super maxed out?
And how? I have reason and control, or no?
These are
wait,
disciplines.
Disciplines.
Yeah.
So
Engineering,
science.
medicine. Yeah. So cooperation or collaboration is what it's called, and it's just a generic talent.
How many? What do you call it?
You have 4 talents.
Momentums do we get?
That changes throughout play.
Okay.
So basically, when you roll these guys, you generate momentum.
Okay.
That goes into the table. It clicks down. Basically, we're going to have a bunch of tokens.
Okay.
And they will go into the center of the table, and then you can use them. I also have a threat pool. And so I'll give you an example of what momentum can be spent for. Sorry for how technical this is. I promise that this is game 0. This is basically the writer's room. So the actual first game is going to be much more like boom, boom, boom. Hopefully not too many booms because this is not the kind of Starfleet. Momentum is a game tool for benefits of players at the table and rewards players for rolling well and succeeding with style. Momentum is a group pool that can be used by anybody that helps with group cohesion as one player's success helps another to succeed. Chapter 4 has lists of ways to spend it. Let's go to page 85.
What's the maximum discipline that we can get?
5.
5.
So, common uses for momentum. Create advantage. It can allow a character to produce a positive or advantageous circumstance. Spending 2 momentum establishes a new advantage in addition to whatever effect the successful task had. So, if you're in a fist fight, it could be knocked down. Or if it could be like a weakness in shields. It could be a brilliant plan. Create opportunity is immediate and repeatable. One of the most straightforward uses of momentum is to add bonus d20s to a task. Every momentum you spend gives you a bonus d20. Oh, sorry. 1 for the first, 2 for the second, 3rd for the third. You can never roll more than 3 bonus d20s. And then create a problem. So, for example, fist fight again. Mike, we're in a fist fight, and you're like, "Well, we're on Andoran, which is a frozen planet, and you're stepping on ice, buddy. So you're going to be taking penalties on your next roll, right? Or something like that." Obtain information. You can spend it to learn more about a situation. Like, I scan it. What do I learn? Well, hold on. Let me spend momentum on that. I spent 3 momentum. I get to ask you additional questions. So you get to ask me questions like, okay, so are the Ferengi involved? Why, actually, now that you mention it, one of them is down on the ground right now getting umlaut. Or whatever it's called.
Oh, not umlaut.
I was on the elliptical today watching Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine. I was also watching a bunch of Dragon Prince because it's good on the elliptical. I mean, it's good generally. But... Okay, so we need to make some side characters real quick.
On the note of the captain, real quick.
Excuse me.
Just the way that people have described her now, and I'm thinking like with the Jason Momoa scar.
Yeah.
Stephanie Beatriz.
Show me.
Rosa Diaz, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm on board.
Yup.
Apparently, so I keep seeing her in like interviews.
She's completely different.
She's got the dorkiest, adorable little voice.
She does.
I'm gonna marry her. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, she's amazing. But like
What's her real last name?
Beatriz.
I mean, we want to go with Lovelace still.
Yeah, I think so. And then because the way like describing her like as like a hard ass, but wants to actually make everyone better and stuff. It's like that sounds a lot like Brooklyn Nine-Nine again. And I'm just like,
Where's my yogurt?
Deep Space 99.
Deep Space Nine-Nine. Oh yeah.
Okay. So we've got Ken Jeong,
We've got Ken Jeong, the
Is it Jeong or Jong?
I think it's Jeong.
Is it Jong? Okay. Because I've only ever E's and O's together, man. They throw me.
So what's happened?
We decided that she's being played by Rosa Diaz from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but like aged up a few years.
Yeah.
Do Betazoids live longer?
No, I don't think so.
I think they just live a normal life.
They just age like fine wine.
They do. I mean,
Oh, Picard! Oh, Jean-Luc.
except Deanna Troy's mother.
Are you talking about she's the Betazoid MILF? I can't even say it's true.
She's Gene Roddenberry's wife.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh, she's
also the
and the
voice-
voice of the computer.
Yeah, voice of the computer.
Oh, that actually, yeah.
She's a treasure.
She's a treasure.
So Betazoids for females between 160 and 175
Oh, a little
for
longer.
lifespan.
Okay, so she could easily be much younger looking.
Well,
Yeah.
humans are also pretty around that age by that time as well.
Yeah, humans are about 120.
Yeah.
120.
So an extra half.
An extra half, yeah. Yeah, human lifespan average 120 years for this, so.
Okay, so I'm just going to look up supporting characters and see what we have to do for that. Because I think it's a much more basic thing. They basically, when my last QT ran this, she basically put them on index cards.
That's good.
That's
idea.
fair.
Yeah.
94. We have to create 94 of them before we call it a night.
Oh, wait.
It's a
second.
good thing
What is
that I
a
work
trait
tomorrow.
versus a what's a trait?
So traits are the actual mechanical things. What's the other? So those are traits.
I thought these were talents.
Oh, sorry, those are talents. Traits are
I only have one trait.
you have your species trait, Betazoid.
Oh, that's a trait.
Yeah. So yours is not Betazoid though.
No, mine is mind meld.
Okay. Supporting characters are like main characters in many ways, and they're controlled by players. However, there's no fixed list of supporting characters. Rather, supporting characters created as and when needed to provide assistance. When the main character is busy somewhere else, we don't even need to stat them out. So what we're going to do is we're just going to use a generator to fill the other roles. Okay? So let us skip into the roles that are not currently filled on the ship. Okay.
Where do I write roll?
Assignment.
Assignment at the top. And then like command in parentheses probably. Whew, I'm getting hungry. Negotiate a treaty.
If I'm an engine, like if I'm a science officer, I can't pick talents from another.
No,
You can't. You can.
You
just
can,
have
but
to
you
have the.
yeah, the prereqs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Zen in the Art of War. Nope. Aggressive channeling. Demotion, reputation, milestones, con lists. Almost there. Creating using a supporting character. Creating a supporting character. It's variable. Cool. I will do the stats for them later. That's irrelevant to our playstyle.
Values can change, right?
That's a great question. You can change them right now.
Well, no, just because I'm looking at, so like one of my values is for being a young officer should be something that's very naive.
Oh.
So I feel like that's something that like down the road.
Young officer does eventually change.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured.
So
Okay.
untapped potential does anyway.
Well, I was just going by the values, but yeah, cool.
The young officer's not a value; it's your career.
No, but I get a value.
You receive a value that must reflect your inexperience and naivete.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing. Like, if I take a value at that time, like, obviously gaining experience can change that value.
Sure.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Okay.
I don't know if it's in the rules because this book is
Cool.
rather thick and I've been busy.
May I
But
have the command book, please?
oh god, you're so needy. Make it so. Okay, so which roles do we not have? We don't have a chief engineer.
Jordan LaForge.
He's busy. And O'Brien's busy too. It was very, very busy.
What about the guy from Reading Rainbow? Is he busy?
Destroyed the Forge. Oh, you mean LeVar Burton? You mean DeVar Burton? LeVar Burton's here. So we have Chief of Security. You're the Chief Medical.
Yes.
Okay. And then Science. And then Counselor. And then, do we need a Communications Officer?
On a Luna class, I don't think so.
Well,
Okay.
science. Yeah, we do.
Do we need...
New civilizations.
That's a good point. Oh yeah, I guess for the science ship.
So all we need is Chief Engineer, Science, and Operations Manager. So data. Okay, so let's just develop these guys real quick. Someone grab a d20.
18.
Okay, so going down the list, which just somewhere. Where the hell are you?
Over the species.
There we go. Yeah. So that is a. Do we want to have double ups with existing characters?
No. I want diversity.
Okay, so reroll that 18.
2.
Oh, you know what? So what I can do is sub in as well. So we can either have the chief engineer be an Andorian or a Klingon.
I really want an Andorian on board.
Yeah.
Okay, Andorian.
I was just gonna say that before you mentioned.
Okay,
that.
the science officer. Someone roll a d20 besides Michael.
2.
That is an Andorian, which could just be a Bajoran.
That sounds good to me.
I'm just going to round up. A Bajoran. All right, Krista, roll a d20.
16.
16 is a... What's a Tellarite again?
Oh god, they're
It's a space dwarf.
yeah, space dwarfs.
Yes.
They're really funky.
Okay, he's the counselor. Or they're the counselor.
Perfect.
Apparently they're really big on like rhetorical questions and negging.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why do you think you're stupid? I just feel inadequate. Well, why are you inadequate?
That
Tell
sounds
me
like
your
a Tellarite.
inadequacies.
I'll spend more time with the doctor than the
I think I'll spend more time with the doctor. as
The
well.
operations manager, someone roll me a d20. That's going to be you.
20.
That's going to downgrade to human. Because it was Vulcan, then Trill, then Tellarite.
Well, we already have a bunch
You
of
have
humans.
two
What's
humans.
next?
I think we've got
Yeah.
all the basics.
So...
Oh, yeah.
Like we literally have.
We don't
one.
have
What is,
Klingon.
what is this?
So it could be... This is for operations manager, so what Data did.
Please no, Klingon. I don't want to.
Yeah, it's like, it's going to be like a Klingon, or it's going to be...
Can we have like a really funky race? Can we just make one up for like one of the jellyfish race that Picard can't?
Oh god, or a green. Green.
Hold on.
What's a green again?
A green or they're like the machine. They're like the helmet head guys.
They're
They're
like-
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
yeah.
super
Layered bounty
advanced.
hunter.
Yes.
Yeah, super advanced
Or
weaponry.
if you want something really weird, I can make something really weird happen.
Like
But
a
I
jellyfish.
I can't tell you about what it is before we start.
Yes, you should do. something
I
weird.
want something
Make
weird.
something up with like I don't know. Yeah, really out there, really.
Like we have the only one in Starfleet.
Like if this was a TV show and the producers came up and be
So
like, we need something that gets the sci-fi nerds and
Yeah.
watching.
Did we reclaim like Voyager and hook it up to the computer, and now it's like
Yeah.
a living entity inside
Yeah.
What
the
the hell's
computer?
a Delton?
They're from Delta, just across the water there.
No, like really, that's basically all they are.
Wow.
They're humanoids from Delta that are basically human,
That's people
but
from Delta.
they have potent pheromones.
That's
Yeah, that's
people
people
from
from
Delta.
Delta.
Sorry, Paul, if you ever watch this, I love you.
So are you going with Delta or something really weird?
I'm gonna put random or Delta.
So They're just gonna have you.
Okay.
Good question.
Fair.
Quick
Good
answer.
question. What are
Small box.
resistances?
Resistances?
Yeah.
So resistances are like in a sentence.
Whenever you succeed a task using reason or control as part of your extended task, you may ignore up to 2 resistance for every effect rolled.
So resistance is the counter roll against damage, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I see.
Is that an attack thing?
No, it's like a science thing.
Resistance. Hold on, page 90 says it. It's been like a year since I've played this, so I gotta kind of remind myself. Resistance. Some extended tasks are particularly arduous to overcome, and making progress is slower. This is covered by resistance, which reduces the amount of work done for each task. So basically, it's your entropy scale. So if something you're like, I need to reconfigure this warp core to go to warp 11. That's not possible. Well, that's going to be resistance 20. You have to get 21 successes every round or every time you roll to blah, 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 blah. So, but this would be something like, well, you're trying to overcome Borg security.
Right.
Which is very difficult, but doable.
Okay.
So it'd be like resistance 3. So the first 3 don't count.
Now, I have an ability that reduces the difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the same thing?
Similar.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, good job. Okay, so Chief Engineer, the Andorian. Roll... Does anyone have a coin?
Do a D4.
Can-
I do have a coin.
Can we have the
Oh, I have
Embodian
the
as the counselor and the Tellarite as the
No,
chief
I've got this.
engineer?
I've got this.
No.
You got a better one?
You got a fancy coin?
Got the
No.
It's
It's
like
got...
Avengers.
Oh, you used an early one.
Yeah.
Can I see it?
Yoink.
We went to the same show.
Wait, did they give these out?
Yeah.
What?
Well, when did you enter?
Like right at the beginning.
Well, I think I entered before you, and then I went out to get my friends, and then I came back.
Damn.
When I got it, there was only like 5 left.
Alright, fine.
Avengers heads?
The A is a boy. Okay, so the Chief Engineer is a male Andorian.
What's the other side look like?
The Avengers in-game logo. That looks like a Tails to me, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna put... What's the dude symbol? There we go. And if it lands on its side, like, we can be... Don't really picture a genderqueer Andorian, but I guess it could happen. Kind of looks like...
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, here come the boys.
We got 2 girls. We're good.
It's
And
true.
our captain's a girl.
So the Bajoran... From Bajor, Cardassians, all those guys. You know what, we'll just, Science Engineer, male, female, Bajoran. And we have a dude, why not?
Sure.
The Counselor. The Counselor's gotta be a dude. The Counselor's gotta be a dude, because it goes against. Operations Manager is random, you don't know.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
So I'll just put an infinity symbol. So do you want male or female Andorian as the Chief Engineer? Let's go female, actually. Because that's unexpected. You don't see as many chief engineers in these shows that are women.
That's true.
Right?
Lana Torres.
Yeah.
From what?
Voyager.
Yeah, I'm 1 episode in. Like, it's the 2-part first episode. Which one's Torres?
The
Yeah.
Klingon, the half
Half
Klingon.
Klingon.
Oh, God, her?
Yes.
Does she get better?
She's an amazing character.
Okay, because in the first episode, she's mostly just like...
She's pretty
grumpy.
grumpy.
She's mostly grumpy and hanging out with... is it Henry Cho? Not Henry Cho. Henry Wong?
Henry Kim?
Kim, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like Henry Cho. That's a guy. That's an actor, isn't it?
Ken Jeong.
Ken Jeong.
It's Ken Jeong.
No, who's Henry Cho?
Wasn't that a friend of ours?
Are you thinking?
I think it might
are
be
you
a character.
thinking Peter?
I know there's Peter Cho.
That's who I was thinking of.
I was thinking of the president of Space Korea.
That's who I was
I miss
thinking
Peter.
of.
Actually, Peter follows us. Peter, if you're watching, we miss you. Come back.
It is true.
Peter's great. Peter's hilarious. Like someone, I was doing interviews for SakinoCon one year, and they filmed me doing an interview of just Peter Cho as the Emperor of Space Korea. Like, we just were hanging out in the chairs chatting for like 25 minutes, and it's like the funniest thing. Because he's just really good at not shutting up, and it also happens to be one of my life skills.
Yep.
He eventually ends up like having a fit and like storming off because I've offended his people by asking about the space wall he wants to erect.
I am also very good at not shutting up.
It's really true. It gets you out of speeding tickets.
Yes, it does. It does.
Does it from the Federation? Okay, so
Probably.
then
What is my assignment?
your assignment is XO. You're the executive officer in your
Executive
command.
officer.
Okay.
So yeah, so command executive officer. Number one. Does she have an accent, or is she kind of neutral? Or number one? No, that's just makes her sound dumb.
Okay.
Number one.
All right, let's cast these people real quick. So we have an Andorian female. So blue little thingies. Let's just come up with a name real quick, actually. You want to just use the names of this in the book?
Yeah. The first one of each.
No, because the first one's always bad.
A.
You just want to go home?
No, I was
You,
stating.
don't you like being around?
I do.
Yeah, we're becoming better friends every game.
Yay.
Yay!
I wish I
you know-
didn't.
It's okay. It's a bell curve.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, basically it bottoms out once you ask me to move your couch. I'm just like,
No, I don't do that anymore.
You don't move couches, or you don't ask?
I don't ask help.
You're just
moving
like
couches.
you're moving a couch. I don't ask, I tell now.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
No, the last time I had a big couch that needed to be moved, my one friend who had helped me move numerous times said, "I'm not doing that again, especially not upstairs." And we actually had to take it downstairs. And a friend of his had come along who was like visiting for the weekend and came and helped us move. And their other friend like packed up our kitchen. But he was like, "You know what this couch needs? Vitamin G." We all looked at him like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Gasoline." So that's always my response when someone asks to move a couch.
Some vitamin G.
Some vitamin G.
Zyle's pretty cool too.
Zyle?
Zyle.
So Zyle. So how about we mix them both? Terra Zyle.
Terrazile.
Sure.
Or Zyle Terra.
Terrazile.
Yeah.
It's got a good one. Lieutenant? Or
It's
Lieutenant? Chief
Lieutenant.
Engineer? Lieutenant Commander or Lieutenant?
Lieutenant.
Let's go, Lieutenant.
Okay, so Bajoran. This is a dude. So Laws? Rion? That just sounds like he's from Game of Thrones. Tabin, Cag, Eden, Elon,
And we
Elon
can't-
Musk.
Elon Lee, Elon Krim,
His science officer.
Science Officer. Hi, my name's Elon Lee.
Hi, my name is Elon Pheromone.
No, that's a different one.
Elon Stench.
Rarely more than 2 syllables for individual names with a soft melodic sound. So,
He works.
my name's Hollum Jaro. No, that sounds dumb. Hollum's not bad on its own.
Definitely not Tabin.
Hollum Lee.
Hollum Lee? Hollum Lee?
And we'll just call him Hollow. Hollum Lee. I like it.
Okay, the Tellarite. Gonna be a dude. And
Gimli. Gimli. Can it please be Gimli?
is it there?
I wish.
Probably not.
Geshniv, Jorsh,
George.
Alec, Gulak,
George. Hi, I'm George
Gisick,
Jorston.
Gissish, Bragg.
Bragg George.
No, Bragg. Oh, actually, hold on.
I think Bragg George should be the counselor's
Love
name.
it.
Counselor George.
Yes, please.
One sec. Name is often compound, indicating the family name is a patronym or matronym. This way, the prefix is similar to Mick or Vaughn. So the prefixes are Bav, Glov, Blash, Lauren, Jav, Bim, Glash.
Bim George.
Bim George.
So his name's
Bragg
Bragg.
Bim George.
Bragg Bim George. Counselor Bim George. Nobody will visit me.
or is it Blim Blav? Or Bimbalav? What was the first one? What was it? It was Bim George?
Bim George.
How did this guy end up on our show?
We lost a bet.
Yeah.
A lot of bad mistakes.
Is this punishment? Like,
Yes. So traditionally, I've never seen a Tellarite on a TV show. Do they normally?
So should he have a Scottish accent?
He
My name is Tim Josh.
Tellarites are in original series.
They are.
I've seen that episode. Ha!
Space Dork.
They aren't
They are
very
totally
common.
censored. No.
But I think he should definitely have the Scottish accent.
Yeah.
Because that's oh so comforting. Especially when he'll just straight up be like,
That's Lucas' character.
yeah.
Just sitting on his
Tell me-
couch
I
and just telling me
just-
about it. The
Hola. Tell me about your flaws.
See, all I can think of is the
Oh my-
dad in How to Train Your Dragon when he's like
No,
trying to
Stoic?
talk to his son.
Am I just going to do Craig Ferguson the entire time? Oh, hello. Welcome to my counselor's office. Would you like a piece of fruit? Perhaps to have an awkward pause. And you do like the kinky German smile.
It's got one of those like medical skeletons.
Why do you have that? It's comforting, isn't it?
Yes, I am. Hi, it's an android. I picked it off a wreckage after I saw some guy who looked like Tom Hardy.
He's a Sunnian, like early Sunnian robot that's never got like the skin grafts on top.
Yeah, because he was too soon.
Okay, so Counselor Bim George is hilarious, and he's never gonna get a patient ever.
Why isn't everyone in the medical profession on our ship is basically a joke?
Because they're all too curious.
I'm like,
Oh.
They're
I'm
gonna
suffering from a phaser wound. Oh yeah, I bet you're suffering from a phaser wound.
Hey, but you should man up a bit.
Diva, did you die?
Aye.
Wait, no, I took Kim Jong's place.
Now you've manned up too. Well, he's still there.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
he's one of the
He's your
emergency-
supervisor.
He's the emergency backup.
Wait, do we have a hologram doctor?
We do. It's Ken Jeong.
Oh, I forgot.
But did you die? I'm just gonna have like Blog record that and just like pipe in. Did you die? You know what? If Blog shows up, I'm gonna give the hologram a body for an episode with like space footage.
Oh, please
And he's
do.
just gonna play Kim Jong the entire time. Going, but did you die? And then I'm gonna kill him at the end. Or not Kim. Sorry, Ken Jong. And then at the end of the episode, I'll kill him, and he goes, "But did I die?"
Oh man.
Oh,
Ken-
Blog, are you watching?
Oh, criminy. I don't think he is. I didn't see him at least.
Loser. Okay. So
Ugh.
the voyage into the unknown will be happening, and I think they were pretty good. Does anybody have any questions about their characters? If not, then does anybody have questions about each other's characters?
Do you want to build any? Like, how do our relationships?
Well, episode 1's going to be with you guys getting to know each other.
Okay.
Getting the assignment to.
That basically,
to-
I've got
to
an
the
assignment.
Curiosity.
I think I'm gonna need to print off like little cards for what my talents are.
I think that'll work. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, episode 1, getting our assignments to the Curiosity.
It's okay, guys. I have a talent called Diffuse the Tension.
I have a talent called Push the Limits.
Oh, no.
Push it to the limit.
Also inertia, so I can push that limit and keep the inertia.
So, does anybody have any questions or comments before? I think we're at a pretty good place.
I think we're at a pretty good place.
And just to remind, like the vibe that I want to kind of go with is I want to go to kind of more of a early or very late seasons next gen. I don't really feel like dealing with the Borg because
No.
they're kind of overdone and they just showed up in Curiosity, or not Curiosity. They just showed up in Discovery. Our name's
Oh, spoiled.
better. Be on the internet.
Yeah,
Well, they don't call him the Borg.
It's a Star Trek.
Not really.
It's a Star Trek show after 1990. It has the Borg in it. Like they put the Borg in Enterprise for God's sake.
Did they?
Yeah.
It's like being
Yeah.
surprised that the Cybermen show
Time
up in
travel
Doctor Who.
ones from the movie.
Oh, right, from
Set up a colony.
First Contact. Yeah, I remember that.
So I mean, First Contact is. I want to start like with season 3 and season 2 next gen, and at the end of the game, maybe be at First Contact level of serious. I mean, First Contact was serious as hell, actually.
First Contact was very.
It was baller, man. Like,
Oh, it's my favorite.
it's the best one of the next gen movies.
It
by
is.
far.
It really is.
I'm gonna disagree.
I mean, you just like seeing Kirk and Picard interact, and that's fine.
Generations was really good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
It was. It was
the
really
most,
good.
It was the most authentic to the series.
See, I still have never seen the original series, so for me
The
it was
Next
like
Generation series?
I've seen Next Gen, but I never saw Kirk.
No, that's what I mean. It was most authentic to the Next Generation series.
You think so?
I think so.
I think First Contact really played out really well as what happens after Enterprise D. Like, you know, the Enterprise D crashes and is destroyed, and where are these characters now? Well, they're off in some back alley place in the most advanced, heavily armed starship that Starfleet has, but they don't want to be pushed into service because Starfleet's too afraid of Picard, you know, and his past Borg, to engage them.
The thing that I love about Generations is in the beginning when Picard gets a letter that his whole extended family has died from the fire, and that scene with Patrick Stewart where he's just a Picard that you've known for 7 years is just steel all to the core, and Picard is suddenly reading this letter that his nephew and his brother has died in a fire, and he just weeps because he is the last remaining Picard with no children, and that scene was just
It is true. It was really good.
All right, so I think we've got a good ship. We've got some good things. Now, here's the question: do you all want the NPC PC, like the guest star, to show up in the first episode or the second?
I think whatever's natural.
I think, yeah.
Whatever is maybe another good thing is to have like a really short summary of their characteristics, because if we're all going to be playing them in turn, then maybe like something to look at and be like, oh, his personality's like.
Oh, this is the guest star.
This is the guest player.
Oh, I see.
I think episode 2.
2, so that you guys figure it out.
After we've all been assigned to the Curiosity, and you know, we're kind of because having a guest star NPC
distracting.
It would be distracting from.
The argument against that though is, have you guys seen Harmon Quest?
No,
Only a little bit.
They started with a guest actor or a guest guest player on the first episode. It kind of like. Yeah,
well, here's the question: are we expecting to have a guest player every single week?
Maybe. We'll see how we like it after the first time.
Well, so that's what I'm saying. If we're like, okay, we're pretty sure we're gonna have somebody every single game, then sure, start from the first one where like because we'll get used to that.
You know what? Why, with that in mind, why don't we stick with just the 4 of you right now, so that we can work out how the pacing works with just 4 of you?
True.
Mm-hmm.
Because this isn't D&D. Having 5 or 6 players might not go fast at all on this.
Yeah.
Before we end the stream, we should all introduce what we think are just
some of our characters.
Yeah.
All right, so who would like to go first and introduce yourselves to the stream and introduce yourself in character? If you can use the character's voice, even, or at least what you think they might talk like, do it. Make it so.
First or last?
I went first at the beginning. I'll go last.
Sure.
All right, number 1.
Oh man, I don't even have a name yet.
Okay, hold on. Vulcan name generator.
Vulcan name. Let's give me some
Dork.
names. Should I?
No, I don't think you should go with Spork.
Could you even look at a commanding officer seriously in the face with a name like Spork? Just like
Wait, could I or my character?
both.
Because, well, character, I don't think, like, is Spork gonna, like, survive till... Wait a minute, Spork would totally survive in this future.
Spork
Yeah.
is the
Sporks will
superior-
survive
Yeah.
forever.
Like, if we had a can now, it would probably survive into the future.
Definitely not that.
Like,
Shork is a.
Shork?
That's just such an ugly sounding.
Oh, I
There's
love
Fack, Spiss,
Spiss.
Sir,
That sounds way too close to something racially insensitive. Spitz.
To cat.
Chuck,
The left.
Shock.
Feck,
Stew.
I need something with an
Stew?
apostrophe.
Yeah,
Kin.
Dekin, Venan,
Ha.
Fack,
Fat. Just 2 A's.
Valak,
freaking Tel Aviv.
Nifak. Okay, I'm gonna find a better name generator.
Stroll.
Okay,
Spork.
Vulcan names. Oh, there's another one. Oh no, it's here we go. Federation Standard. What do you want to start with?
V.
Thalor, Thurat,
A V.
V.
Oh, V. Sorry. V comes after other letters.
Correct.
Valar. One who is bearer of something. One who is bearer of the lantern. Valas. Vak. Or Vash.
Ooh, Varric?
Varric.
Varric's badass.
Yeah.
Varen. One who rises up.
Varen?
Varith. The story.
Varith, yeah.
Varith.
Yeah, let's do that.
There's
That's
also
a cool
there's also
name.
Velik. Simple, uncomplicated.
Varith? What do you guys think? Varith or Valak?
I think Varith.
Yeah.
I think that
Comes-
sounds cool.
V-A-R?
Spell it however you want.
Yeah.
So they had it as V-A... Valeris. Valerian. Say Varith.
I'd
But you
say-
could be Vareth as well.
Do you know that Duolingo has a high Valerian course now?
Okay, and then... and then... Oh yeah, it's only single named.
Yeah.
Alright.
All right.
So, please describe yourself.
I am Commander Varith. I know that knowing others by living as them is my creed. I take my job seriously, but I am also curious about other life forms and what others take as pleasure. My focuses are on xenobiology and technology, expertise in surveillance and counter-surveillance, and I can think quickly on my feet.
Alright.
I am Lieutenant Jizva Payax, Flight Controller with the Curiosity. I focus in helm operations, small craft, starship recognition. And my general rule of thumb is, when it comes to flying, it's my ship, Captain. I know what's best for it. You may not always.
Alright.
I am the Chief Security, Lieutenant Commander Fallon Graves. Everyone wants to be able to sleep safe in their beds every night. You can't do that by being lackadaisical. If I have to go and patrol the halls every night, well, that's what I'm going to do. Because if I'm not sleeping, you better bet your grandma that you will be.
Love the accent.
Nice. And finally...
I'm trying to find her voice. Lizzie Benedict. Lizzie, if you want. This is my first assignment on a big ship, and I am Chief Medical Officer. Not big shoes to fill at all. Now, I do believe that you support others and you'll be supported, and you just got to lead by example. So I'm gonna stick to that, and hopefully I can take care of everybody on the ship.
And I'm Captain Nisala Lovelace. To your posts, Curiosity. And I think that's a good place to leave it there. We'll see you in 2 weeks when we have our first session. I have to do some work on this. But until then, live long and prosper. Mike, can you hit stop streaming?